York City. Yankee Stadium, the site as the Orioles play the third of four, having won last night. Oriole fans on hand got to see the Orioles hit not one, not two, but three long balls, including number 40 for Nelson Cruz. Buck Showalter paced, but you got Zach Britton in a one-run ball game in the ninth inning. Britton came on, finished it up, and the Orioles came away with a 5-4 win. Now the Orioles go at it today. Oriole fans on hand, wave goodbye to work and welcome to the ballpark. It's the Orioles on Bassett, and we welcome you back to the Bronx, New York, as it's the Orioles and the Yankees in the third of this four-game set, now one apiece in this particular series. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome for the Orioles' big win last night. How do you go from a night where you had one hit, a single, to the next night where you pound them out, including 3 home runs? Well, that's what the Orioles did last night. We've talked so much about the home runs and how they matter to the Orioles. We thought we'd break it down a little bit today and take a look at the home run totals. The Orioles, of course, 48% of their runs have come off home runs. They're 205, the most in the majors, and the 7th most in Orioles history. They are 26-0 when they have 3 or more home runs in a ball game. No club in Major League history has had that many games with 3-run homers and won them all. We'll see if the Orioles can run the string on that one. 55 games, winning home runs, most in the majors. 4 players, 20 or more: Cruz, Jones, Davis, and Pierce. And, of course, Nelson Cruz now leading the majors, 40 home runs. That's a big story for the Orioles this season. Earl Weaver would be proud, Jim.
Yeah, not only that, I mean, they hit the 3-run home runs. We didn't see any of those last night, but you know, we always talk about how Buck Showalter kind of matches up ballparks. Kelly Johnson, they get him. He plays last night. He hits a home run. I think the good news, as far as I'm concerned, is that Nick Markakis has been struggling. He had gone almost 100 at bats without an RBI. He gets a home run. He gets 4 hits, so he joins the party. And then Nelson Cruz, even though he had gone 14 games, his batting average has gone up about 11 or 12 points in the month of September, because he's usually in the whole field, and then 40 home runs. So he's got to be certainly proud of that. And then you're leading, and you're going to look. You know, they've hit 200 home runs now for 3 straight years. They don't have Wieters, don't have Machado. I mean, so they still doesn't really matter who you plug in. Caleb Joseph's going to be behind the plate today. He went through a stretch where he had 5 games with 5 consecutive home runs. Scope with 15. So everybody chipping in.
And the playoff picture is becoming more stabilized, if you will. It has to, with so few games left, I guess. But we want to take a look at that as well. First of all, in the American League, here's what's going on as we head into October. You've got the Orioles who have clinched, the Tigers going after it, the Angels who have clinched in the West. The wild card race now comes down Royals, A's, the Mariners 3 games back. The Mariners are almost out. The Tigers are going to go, and the Royals are going to go. It's just a question of who will be the division winner, who will be the wild card team.
Yeah, and that makes a big difference, because everybody says, okay, Tillman's going to start game 1. Who's going to start game 2? But he doesn't know. He's going to look for the best matchup. You might even see, we talked about Hundley gets 3 hits last night. Joseph's catching today. Hundley may be your regular catcher, because Tillman, he always catches him anyway. Doesn't really matter, because you can't run on Tillman. So, again, I think this matchup, it's to be determined. And as we've said all year long, and anybody that knows Buck Showalter, he's going to get it right.
Yep. Take a look at the National League. Here's what's going on over there, the battle for the postseason. Division leaders right now. You've got the Nationals who have won it. The Cardinals are going to go one way or the other, still in a battle for the division. The Dodgers are almost there in winning the division. The wild card comes down now to the Pirates, the Giants, and the Brewers. The Brewers, though, almost out. What a collapse. They are 5 games back for that second spot. Pirates trail the Cardinals by just a game and a half in the Central, and the Dodgers and Giants are still going at it in their great matchup.
Yeah, and I look at those numbers, and we had a chance to play home and home against the Pirates, and 20 straight losing years. The Orioles went through 14 straight losing seasons, and then the Orioles get Showalter, they get Clint Hurdle. They're in the postseason the last 2 years. Orioles now, after winning the division in the postseason 2 out of 3 years. So great stories there. And I think the other thing is, I thought Mattingly said a point. He said the Dodgers, they beat the Giants last night. He said, been hitting a lot of home runs, but everything changes. In the playoffs, you don't get the same pitches. They pitch a little different. So I think Don Mattingly, Donnie ball game gets it right. So a lot of great games are going to be played. And the Orioles, we hit home runs. Let's see if they can do it all the way to the end of October. If they can, they may win a world championship.
And the Cardinals continue to defy the numbers. If you go by numbers, the Cardinals would not be where they are, would not have a chance to clinch a division title, but they are. They're having another great September, and they are really the kind of the wild card team in the playoffs yet again.
It's about the organization. I don't live too far from where they train. You go up there, really doesn't matter. LaRusso leaves, Matheny comes in. They just have guys, and if you talk to anybody in their minor league system, you learn, as Buck Showalter says, you learn it through the organization. When you get to the big leagues, you're ready to play. They have great pitching. I would never bet against the Cardinals because they just know how to win.
Well, for the Orioles, they're going to have a couple of games at home, the American League Championship Division Series. And if you haven't got your tickets to that, make sure you get in line. They are going fast. Next, Yankees-Orioles. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. And by Chapin Davis, providing investments that can produce income from your retirement plan. Call to learn more, 800-222-3246 or chapindavis.com. Our train game time temperature is 70 degrees. It's cool here today with some overcast clouds. And visit trainsearch.com. Find your local train comfort specialist dealer. Pitch will be taken, and it is up high. Nick Markakis leading it off for the Orioles here in this Game 3. The Yankees one game away from being eliminated from any playoff hope. Markakis down the line off Shane Green, fouls it away.
Yeah, a lot of two-seamers, four-seamers, 92 to 93. You saw 44% of breaking balls, curveballs, sliders, occasional changeup. Against the Orioles, he struck out 18 in the 12-plus innings. Give up the one home run, beaten them twice, been dominant. And you throw, as you can see, up to 95, and this is a 15th round draft choice they're facing, but he's learned to pitch. Came through their minor league system last year, pitching very well. But A-ball and Double-A, 4 and 6 A-ball, and then went to Trenton Double-A, 8 and 4.
1-2 delivery, that off the fist to right field, back near the warning track. Richardson is there. Markakis is retired. Take a look at the rest of the Orioles starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. It'll be Markakis, Lowe and Jones, Cruz, Clevenger. Note he's starting at first. Paredes, Johnson, Flaherty, and Joseph. David Lowe's had a really strong month here at 333. The Orioles now with 94 wins, 63 losses on the year. Guaranteed a season series win against the Yankees. They're 12-5 against them. That ball put in the air by Lowe, and that'll end up in the seat.
Yeah, Shane Green is a perfect example of somebody you can draft, as we mentioned, in the 15th round, and then 24-41 in the minors. All of a sudden he came on last year as he moved up to Double-A, and there's a slider that gets the strike zone. But you can teach him, you can work with him. He's got great size, 6'4", 210, and he's learned how to pitch.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way. Lowe will lash that one the other way, foul. He, of course, played most of the season in the minors. It's just his 14th major league start today. Came up from AAA on July the 7th and stayed with the Yankees. 2 wins against the Orioles, and Jim said really good outings. 0-2 delivery on the way to Lowe, will be outside for a ball.
Prefers to pitch on the road, 1-3 here at Yankee Stadium with a not a horrible ERA, 3.76, but on the road real special. 4-0, 2.7, under 3 runs a game.
1-2 delivery, that one down the left field side. Young was playing in, back, over, and makes the catch in foul territory. 2 down.
Take a look at the Yankee defense. Pretty easy to pitch behind Green. Throws a lot of strikes and command his fastball. Young, Gardner, Richardson, very speedy right fielder. Headley, Ryan, Jeter, the DH today. Drew Teixeira, 5 Gold Gloves over there, and then Cervelli played first base last night. Now behind the plate is McCann, who's been red hot. 8 home runs in September. One of them last night. He's out of here.
Adam Jones might have had the day off today, but for the fact he's in a little bit of a funk at the plate. But Showalter wants to give him a chance to get out of that. He's 0 for 9 in this series and 0 for his last 11. He is 1 for 6 times up against Green. So Adam will stay in the ball game today and make his regular start in center field. Still hitting .279 against the Yankees this year, and off the fists and back.
Well, they're going after him. He's been hacking. McCarthy, a lot of balls in the middle of the plate. That was not the case against Michael Pineda on the one hitter into the 8th inning the other night. Those are the numbers for the year, good ones. Of course, the Orioles 45-26 against the American League East, and Adam a big part of that.
0-2 delivery on the way to him, and that one in the air to center field. It'll bring Gardner in. Wind is blowing right to left. Strong start for Green as he retires the side in order, going after number 15, Bud Norris. September going 15-7 right now in September. Game here, 3 more in Toronto. Starting lineup for the Yankees: Gardner, Jeter, and Headley. Teixeira, Cervelli, and Drew. Young, Richardson, and Ryan. Jeter will be the DH in this game and comes in with a 7-game overall hit streak.
And Bud Norris, a lot of fastballs, breaking ball, cutters, and occasional sliders, changeups. That number, I thought it would go up over the course of the season. It's actually gone down a couple of percentages. So First time he's ever won over 10 games, and able to do that. He's won 6 out of his last 10 decisions. Actually, 10 starts. And you can see lefties, righties, not a whole lot of difference. 18 home runs on the year. But working on 2 games where he hasn't given up any runs in his last 2 starts. One's against the Yankees where he struck out 10. So they certainly know about him. And then the last one against Toronto.
So he enters with 12 1/3 innings of scoreless baseball over those 2 ball games. He is 3-0, 2.12 ERA, lifetime against New York. Has had only 1 start previously here. That was on June 21 when the Orioles came away with a 6-1 win. He gave up a run on 3 hits over 5. Here is Brett Gardner to lead it off. 1 for 7 in the series. Gardner will take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, Bud Norris has been able to maintain his stuff over the course of this year. That was June 21st start up here, and he did leave because of a groin problem, would eventually go on the disabled list.
Gardner ducks away a little bit on the fastball that'll miss up high.
But pretty much 93 to 95, and then he loves the slider, and then he'll cut the ball. Every once in a while he'll mix in a changeup.
Here's the 1-1 delivery. Gardner puts it up in the air, center field. Jones camps under it, and Gardner is retired.
Well, big, huge outfield. So you got the best out there tonight this afternoon. Markakis won a Gold Glove. Jones with a couple. David Lowe, one of the best zone ratings of any outfielder in the American League, out in left field. Paredes, Flaherty, Johnson, Clevenger playing over at first. Catch, and then Caleb Joseph struggling at the bat behind the plate for the Orioles today.
Every at bat a standing ovation here as he is now just 1 day away from his final game to be played here in New York. 7-game hit streak, trying to finish strong. Pitch taken outside. He's 1 for 8 lifetime against Norris. Orioles position the outfield to right, trying to cover that Jeter right fielder. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Broken bat, 1 hopper to short. Flaherty on the spin makes the play, and Jeter 2 down.
Yeah, that's a pitch that maybe he could have fought off and fouled off, but he just can't quite get to it. And that's what 48 years of age. As you mentioned, 7-game hit streak, but in the month of September, and he's 10 for his last 25, but he's still for the month hitting .216. So slow start, fast finish.
That will bring Headley to the plate with 2 down. Switch hitter. Headley 5 for 14 with a home run off Norris. Pretty good numbers. Orioles put the full shift on against him, and the pitch will be taken for a strike.
Yeah, Bud comes out of the Astro organization, so they faced each other when Chase Headley was playing for the Padres.
Coming to the Yankees from the Padres. Outfield pretty much straight away. Headley with 2 down. A 1 delivery on the way, and that is there for a strike, and gets ahead of him quickly. 0-2 on Headley. The Orioles pitching staff, of course, has been absolutely phenomenal since the beginning of June. Their overall numbers have just been outstanding. The starters doing much more than anyone anticipated. The Orioles have 3 pitchers who have 13 or more wins. It's the first time the Orioles have had that since 1997, when it was Scott Erickson, Jimmy Key, and Mike Mussina. Fouled away, and 0-2, and the deep inside the numbers show how that performance by the pitching staff has just continued here this month.
Well, it's like if you're on the pro golf tour, sometimes all you need is a little bit of an adjustment to get to where you need to go.
0-2 delivery on the way to him. That'll be punched in the air. That is going to fall in for a base hit. So Headley will get a 2-out single.
Yeah, a little change up, so it just speeds the bat up. It's not a bad pitch at all, but Headley 2 nights ago, home run over the right center field fence. You can see the changeup grip right there out of his hands, and then it goes down and away, but he covers the outside corner, so chalk that off to a good at bat.
Headley is on, and here is Teixeira. He's in the cleanup spot for the Yankees, despite that wrist that is bothering him. Teixeira is 1 for 5 with a home run off Norris. There are 2 down, 1 for 4 in the one game he's played in here in this series.
Yeah, I think that home run was on that 21st of June game where he hit a high fastball.
That one into the shift. That's going to go into the corner. Can Headley score? Headley's coming to third. Robbie Thompson's going to wave him home. Here's the relay throw and no throw to the plate. Teixeira gets a double and the Yankees get a lead.
Well, that's got to make the Yankees happy, even though he's had a disappointing year. The right wrist injury for Mark Teixeira. It's now 2 nights in a row where, boy, he's a pull hitter. You can see you got everybody stacked over there, and Kelly Johnson couldn't come up with it, and then Clevenger sees there's no play and just puts it in his pocket.
59 RBIs and 121 games for him. Scoring is Headley, who got the 2-out base hit. So Teixeira's on at second base, and that will bring up Cervelli. Francisco Cervelli doing the catching today, 1 for 4 in this series. The Yankees in the first 2 games of this series have not had a hit with a runner in scoring position. They are 0 for 15 in the first 2 games. Pitch will be taken for a strike. They've struggled all year with that. They're hitting .250 as a team, which is 10th in the American League. See whether or not Bud Norris can end this right here.
Yeah, Cervelli, it's surprising because he's a contact hitter. He's only hitting .200 with runners in scoring position.
0-1 count. Teixeira's getting room to roam out there at second base. Orioles not keeping him close. Way late on that one, and a 2-strike count. The Yankees get on top. We've had 2 very distinct ball games here in the first 2 games of the series, with the Orioles shut out on 1 hit in the opener, 5-0, and then coming back with a 5-run 17-hit game that they would ultimately win last night by just a run, 5-4.
Yeah, the Orioles 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position last night.
And a swing and a miss, and Norris comes away with a strikeout. So a run in on a couple of hits, no errors, and 1 left on. Yankees get the lead after 1. Name is Gale Weaver from Essex. 500 for being selected. You get 500 more for every Orioles home run hit today. All these home runs the Orioles have put up, the lottery's awarded over $150,000 to contestants this season. Play the Orioles scratch off today. You still got a chance to win up to $60,000. Find out more at mdlottery.com/Orioles. A lot of bets on hand here at the ballpark. There's a Vietnam veteran, U.S. Marine Corps, and an Orioles fan and a Yankee fan. He may be a Marine, but he lost that war. 1-0 lead for the Yankees as we go to the second inning. Cruz will lead it off. He is DHing again today. Nelson's had a good series, not to mention an MVP year. He's gone 3 for 8 with a home run. picked up the RBI and a run scored. Clevenger and then Paredes will be coming up. Now with the 40 home runs and the 100-plus RBIs, even more select air for him. It'll go to short. Jeter on the big hop or rather Ryan makes the play. That's what happens with all those games at short. Even when you're not there, you're there. The Eastern Division champion Orioles are battling for the home field advantage. You can get your tickets to home game 1 of the ALDS and other games throughout the postseason. Don't miss your chance to lock in an unforgettable experience, as those Oriole fans know from a couple of years ago what that ballpark was like. Go to Orioles.com/postseason or 888-848-BIRD. Here's Steve Clevenger. Clevenger's had just one at bat in the series. The 0 for 1. 235 overall. Looking for that first home run back with the Orioles.
Yeah, line drive hitter.
Pops it up. Third base. Headley going over, and he'll run out of room.
We have two pitchers, even though the Yankees have gotten a run, that they don't seem to have any intentions of throwing a lot of balls today.
No,
they're going after him. I mean, that's the amazing thing about Shane Green. He had to have Tommy John surgery in high school. Went to James Andrews, had a bone spur. They removed it. He had a scholarship West Florida. They took it away. Went to Daytona State. Ended up signing with the Yankees. Struggled in the minor leagues, like we mentioned, 24 and 41. And then you get Greg Pavlik, one of their minor league instructors, and then Gil Patterson. He's been around for years, pitched at the major league level. And they said, what do you do best? He goes, two-seam fastball. Work on that, and then your slider.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Pitch will be taken away by Clevenger. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Orioles, Buck Showalter continuing to maneuver players in and out of games to keep people as fresh as possible who are likely to be on the roster, like Clevenger, but don't play every day. Pitch will be taken for a strike, and there's the first Green strikeout.
Oh, there's some serious movement on these pitches. This is a changeup. Watch this ball run. He thinks it's inside. Look at it run back. So a two-seam fastball and then a two-seam changeup. You give up on it because you think it's inside, catches the inside corner.
Brady's one of those players on the bubble for the roster in the postseason. Gets the start at third base in this game. This is his 11th start at third. He's 1 for 4 in the series, and Green's pitch will be taken up high for a ball.
He's had a lot of good at bats. So I guess the decision would be, do you want to keep him around because he's a switch hitter, as a pinch hitter, if you go with one less pitcher? Certainly an option. I mean, he has to play in the field, but and he runs the bases well. 4 for 4 with steals.
A lot of those decisions will be made on Monday. They will be tentative, probably, based on who the Orioles are going to play in the first round. But organizational meetings are going to be in Toronto for purpose of the postseason, as Buck Showalter will meet with the front office and coaches. 1-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts for Green. 6 in a row. Retired by the Yankees starter. Yankees have the 1-0 lead. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in our ball game today, brought to you by Miller Lite. A lot of games going on that will still affect who's going to go where in the postseason. Milwaukee, with that tremendous bad September, probably not going to make it, while Kansas City and Detroit still battle for the lead and the division title. They're both going to go to the postseason in all likelihood. And the Giants, Dodgers in the West continue. The Giants 4.5 behind the Dodgers. Dodgers are going to win that division, and the Giants will end up going as a wild card team along with the Pirates. The wild card game in all likelihood, Pittsburgh and San Francisco.
How about Justin Turner, a former Oriole? He had a couple home runs for the Dodgers last night. So he got a nice little beard. It's very Paul Bunyan-like. It's working. Whatever he's doing.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Here is Stephen Drew. Drew with a 1-for-4 in the series. Shift on in the infield against him. And Norris's pitch to him will be taken for a strike. Good Girardi saying before the game today, look, I know we're still in the race. You always keep fighting it, but we're also aware of the reality that the likelihood is pretty close to zero. One more loss and they are going to have their postseason hopes ended. 13 games behind the Orioles, in second place still in the division. 0-2 count. Drew, Young, and Richardson due up. Norris for the 0-2 delivery, and that one hit in the air and well and deep at the wall, and goodbye, home run. Drew delivers the long ball in a 2-0 Yankee lead.
Well, he can play shortstop, and somebody's going to have to take Jeter's place, but he's hit so poorly that when he does this, you kind of sit back and take attention. 13 home runs for the Red Sox, slider that stays up, and in this ballpark, if you get it in the air, especially to that part of the ballpark, good chance to sail out of here. And there's a little bit of wind today, and there is a wind tunnel going to right center field, and he rides it.
7 home runs on the season for Drew, and that's his 3rd with New York, and the 19th surrendered by Norris this season. And the pitch will be taken outside. First home run Drew has had against Norris, but he's hit him hard. Drew is now 7 for 19 off Bud Norris.
Yeah, not a lot of good pitches to hit, and really in the series up in Baltimore really hit well against the Orioles and kind of adjust off of that. They got some hanging breaking balls to hit in Baltimore, hit some doubles. Home run in the 11th inning. Well, this is it's almost the way Shane Green has pitched against the Orioles, giving up 2 runs coming in with 18 strikeouts in 12 2/3 innings. It's almost like what you're going to face in the postseason. You don't expect to get a lot of runs, so you have to be on the top of your game.
Inside corner strike to Chris Young. Young, the 0 for 6 in the series. The only home run Norris had given up to the Yankees this year was to Mark Teixeira in that game here in New York on the 21st. Now he's given one up to Drew. 1-2 delivery, tap foul off the end of the bat by Young. Young, a couple of hits and 12 at bats off Bud Norris. So Norris quickly had that streak ended of scoreless innings, 12 1/3, with the first inning RBI double by Teixeira. Now the Yankees have added another here in the second. One-two delivery. Young will pop it up back near the screen and on the other side of it.
Yeah, not as much room here at New Yankee Stadium as there was at the old ballpark. And the old ballpark, it used to kind of go down because it was built so long ago. You had more room, and then they would gradually, not precipitously, drop off. I remember Rick Dempsey won like 4 straight pop flies that he had to go back and then run downhill and then uphill.
1-2 delivery, swung out and missed. He got him, and Norris will pick up his second strikeout. First of the inning.
Perfect slider right here. This is what it's about. And you know the guy likes the ball out over the plate, but not down in a way. So this is, to me, this is what if you're going to look at what's going to happen in the postseason, this might have some bearing. That's this year, and now he's 8-2 at home, and look at the career numbers. When you look at home versus the road, and I find that hard to believe because same mound, ballpark's a little different, but for Bud, much better at home, especially at Camden Yards this year.
Richardson will foul that one away. Antoine Richardson getting a first appearance that he's had in this series. Call up with the September expanded rosters. The other thing about Bud Norris, the great numbers he's had against the East, he has won his last 8 decisions against American League Eastern teams, and that covers 11 starts, and the Orioles have gone 12-1 in his 13 starts against the division this season. I mean, against the East, he's gone 8-1 with an ERA of 2.72. Pretty amazing number, even if the teams have not been as strong as they've been in past years.
Yes.
220 average.
Yeah, especially at when you look at the runs scored, injury factors. The Red Sox last in runners in scoring position. Tampa Bay, they're 13th. Yankees 11th. And even the Blue Jays down, but they had all kinds of injuries. They're the only team that's had a better than average run scored. It's a good year to pitch against the East, and Orioles have pitched better and scored better, and that's why they, as we mentioned, come in 46-25. Amazing number.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be lashed back. The Orioles can pick up a win today. They would be 20 games over 500 against the East. And the last time the Orioles finished 20 or more over 500 in the division, you got to go all the way back to 1980 when the Orioles went 49-29 against the division. Richardson with one down and nobody on. Right now, though, it's the Yankees who have the 2-0 lead. Wow, what a cut that was.
Well, that's what we saw in Baltimore. Those 4 for 9 were the at-bats he had there, and he just trying to stay alive some way. Good slider. It may be the ultimate emergency hack.
Just kind of rolled it into the Orioles dugout.
It's almost by him.
Yeah. 0-2 delivery by Norris, fastball up. He was signed on the 2nd of this month with the expanded roster. Had a good year at AAA, 271, 3 homers, 22 RBIs, 7 doubles. 1 ball, 2 strike count on him. Outfield swung around towards left and in. 1-2 pitch, and Norris will miss outside.
Yeah, the difference between Shane Green and Bud Norris as far as putting balls in play, because they're both throwing tons of strikes, is that Green's got the 2-seamer. That puts the ball on the ground. It's a little bit easier to get easier outs if you're making your pitches, and through the first 2 innings he's been able to do that.
2 ball, 2 strike count. We'll have to wait. Day game today affecting the postseason in Detroit. Chicago's playing there. They are in the 2nd inning. Tigers trying to maintain their lead in the division over Kansas City, which is down to 1 game. And a swing and a miss. Norris 3 Ks.
Yeah, another great slider. So Young down on a slider. It took a little while. Once again, another quality pitch. Bottom drops out and Richardson right over it.
So 2 down, and Brendan Ryan will come to the plate.
Kind of a nice matchup in Detroit today. Sale at Verlander.
Yep. Not the old Verlander, though.
No,
it's the new one.
Well, that if the Orioles end up playing him, and he did pitch early, the Orioles played the Tigers all 6 games in the first 40+ days of the season and went 1-5. The Orioles playing much better as of late.
1-0 put up in the air. First base, Clevenger, no play.
Verlander pitched that 1 game and gave up 5 runs in the inning. I've never seen anybody give up 5 runs, and they were on curveballs.
Doesn't have that big heat anymore that he can reach back for consistently. It'll be interesting they'll be in the postseason, Detroit. What they do as far as their rotation is concerned. Ryan 1-1 delivery to him, and he'll put it into the screen. Ryan has not had a hit off Norris in 7 at bats against him. Has not played in the last couple of games.
Well, he's a really good defender, and most people think he will be back as the backup shortstop, regardless of who they sign.
Did he go? No. Adam Hamari, first base umpire.
This is what Adam's going to look at, and way out there.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Norris thought he had him, trying to strike out the side. 2-2 delivery, and that's exactly what he does. 4 strikeouts, but Drew delivered a leadoff homer, his 7th of the year, and the Yankees now have a 2-0 lead. Is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. And by Luna. For a beautiful new carpet, hardwood, and laminate, call 877-241-LUNA. Cloudy day here. Everybody worried about tomorrow with rain possibility. Eddie. Taking in a little baseball. Busman's holiday.
He's got a good seat wherever he is. Either that or let him out of jail. Come on.
Eddie on hand. Yeah, ironically, we'll talk about Eddie a little later in the ball game, actually, when we have our 60th anniversary moment.
I've spotted him. He's right down behind home plate.
Didn't get those from Bob Uecker, I'll tell you that right now. It'll be Johnson, Flaherty, and Joseph coming up. Kelly Johnson getting the start at second base, just his second start at second. In a big series, 3 for 5, homer, RBI, trying to bunt his way on. That's a fair ball. Nice play made. Cervelli had to wait for that one to come down.
Yeah, and then Kelly Johnson, one of those rare things. It looks like he's right on the line, so he's kind of where you need to be running down the line.
Now the Orioles are headed for October, so be there for 1-hour postseason editions of O's Extra before and after every game. Follow the Birds on Twitter at Masson Orioles for news, games, updates, and the chances to win some prizes too. Masson's your maximum Orioles postseason network. Ryan Flaherty coming up. Flaherty a 1 for 7 in the series. All over the place for Flaherty as far as positions are concerned. Had a start first base in the ball game yesterday. Now he's back at shortstop for his 20th start at short. Hardy gets a day off.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter what Green throws. It's going over the plate.
Ahead here on Flaherty 0-2.
Yeah, he had a nice crisp line drive right back up the middle. And there's another changeup.
Green, career record, what it is for this year, 5-3. 1-2 delivery on the way. That fastball is going to miss outside. He works in a hurry. Orioles will be back here tomorrow to wrap it up on the final game for Jeter. here at home. Kevin Gausman, Hiroki Kuroda, the scheduled starters. 6:30 O's extra. 7 o'clock for the ball game. 2-2 delivery, fisted foul outside of third. Rain in the forecast. Big storm coming in from the southeast, and a good deal of concern about what that's going to look like tomorrow night. Obviously, millions of dollars have been spent on tickets for Jeter's final game. So, as Buck Showalter said, there are no time limits on when you can start a game. And the pitch is high and away.
They'll bring the poncho, the umbrellas,
peanuts,
the wetware.
And the Orioles head off to Toronto to wrap up the regular season. Ryan Flaherty, 3-2 delivery on the way and a ground ball base hit. So Flaherty's on. The Orioles have their first base runner of the ball game. Ryan stays hot.
Yeah, use the middle of the field. That way you can stay back on the breaking balls. And the Orioles get on the board with their first hit. It's good to see here in the third.
Ryan Flaherty at first. Green will work to Joseph, hitting ninth, the Oriole catcher. Had just a couple of at-bats here in this series, and the 0 for 2. Infield, double play depth, and the pitch on the inside corner for a strike. Home-plate umpire Jeff Kellogg, veteran umpire, pretty much straight up on balls and strikes when compared to other umpires. Not a particular leaning one way or the other in his major league career behind the plate. 0-1 count, short lead at first. Green's pitch, swing and a miss, stayed in. 2 strikes. So far this month for Joseph, it has not been a kind month. 4 for 41 with a home run.
Yeah, really struggling. So another decision to be made by Buck Showalter before the playoffs start. Who will do the bulk of the catching with Hundley hot with the bat.
Swing and a miss, throttle back.
And he's not even in the same area code. And you know, he's worked so hard. He's had such a terrific year, first year in the big leagues, and you want him to do well, and all of a sudden he's just swinging. And he's going to have to make some adjustments. I mean, still, I know this sounds like you're getting defensive, but he does have some time. He just has to figure out a way to get some kind of feel to know where the bat head is, and that's been a struggle as of late. Same with Jonathan Scope,
who is out today. Here is Nick Markakis, fly to right field his first time up. Flaherty's on at first base. There are 2 down. Markakis a 3 for 7. Lifetime off Green. Lefties 268 off Green. 8 home runs surrendered by the Yankee pitcher, 4 right, 4 left.
And the reason I mean, simple as that. You get Flaherty getting a base hit. Caleb strikes out. I mean, just pretty much waves at 3 pitches. If he even hits a ball to the right side, area of maximum vulnerability, maybe you move a runner over. Maybe with Nick getting 4 hits, you have a guy in scoring position. And we know they win when they hit home runs, but just sometimes putting the ball in play, contact, it changes the game. And as you progress through the playoffs, you would think the pitching will get a little bit better. Doesn't mean that you still can't hit. It just gets a little tougher.
2-0 delivery on the way. Markakis takes it, and suddenly Green can't find the strike zone as he falls behind 3-0. The Orioles plan to carry the 2 catches, of course, Hundley and Joseph. Clevenger will be on the be ready to play side of it. Buck Showalter's concerned he can't what he's going to do with those players. They'll talk about that Monday. He's got to have a certain number of players readily available. Can't send them to Sarasota because you can't get them back in time. That's going to be outside. And the first walk surrendered, 4 consecutive pitches. Because it looks like the Orioles are going to play something like a 4 o'clock game in game 1 and then probably a 1 o'clock game in game 2. And if that happens and you need somebody from Sarasota for game 2 because of an injury, you can't get them back in time for the game, or it would be very hard to. So he's talking about selecting a group of players. Clevenger as a backup catcher would be one of those. An outfielder, probably at least one pitcher. Could be Jimenez, who would not be on the roster but would be available to fill if there's an injury.
Yeah, it could be McFarland.
Yeah.
Rivaldo pitching well now, 1-2 starts. Probably will start the Sunday game even if he only goes briefly. That'll be his regular day.
They would just stay close with the ball club. In fact, they'd be in Baltimore, even though would not be dressed And the pitch taken outside. Here's David Lowe, fly down his first time up. The Orioles get runners on at first and second here in the third, down 2-0.
Yeah, things change when instead of the first pitch out of your hand being a strike, it's a ball. And maybe the reputation of 4 hits from Markakis caused Green to be a little bit more cautious.
The home runs in the ball game, accounting for the runs in last night's 5-4 win. The Orioles here in this series have gone just 1 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They didn't even have a chance in that first game where they were shut out. They did not get an at bat with a runner in scoring position. They were 1 for 7 last night. They've dropped into a tie for second now in the American League in that .270 batting average in these situations. 1-1 delivery on the way. Lowe will foul it off, and Green gets ahead 1-2.
So they make a little bit of a change. Struggle with the fastball, go to a couple of sliders to get back into the strike zone. And now here at Yankee Stadium, as they started with Ron Guidry back in '78 with 2 strikes, everybody starts applauding. And he used to stand up. Guidry, of course, he was on his way to a 25-3 that year. Some of the more amazing years ever.
Here's the 1-2 delivery by Green. Take it. This season, runners in scoring position. Lowe's had 33 chances, 7 for 33. Figures out to a .212 batting average. He gets the opportunity here. 2-2, 2 down. Flaherty a single at second. Markakis the walk at first. .2-2. That's going to be in the dirt. Cervelli the stop. And a full count.
Yeah, the last 2 batters a different Shane Green. Command a little iffy.
So the Oriole runners off and going here with a 3-2 count. Advantage runners in this situation, obviously.
And Gardner plays, and is young, so shallow in the outfield. I mean, they're in. Any ball up the gap probably is going to score 2. And they come in even a little bit closer.
3-2, and there's another walk, and Green just suddenly imploding here in the third inning. He'd retired 7 in a row before the Flaherty single this inning, and that'll bring Larry Rothschild out.
Yeah, he really raved when they were in Baltimore, not the last trip, but even before, just saying this kid's got a lot of stuff. But when you lose your release point, and that's what it appears, Larry knows him a lot better than maybe he even knows himself. And this is what he talked about, Shane Green, about going through the minor leagues. Greg Pavlik, then Gil Patterson. Not only the physical, but the mental part of it.
No key moment in this ball game right here in the third. Bases loaded for Jones.
And sometimes with the kind of movement that Green has, your pitching coach can steer you back to saying, you know what, if you throw it for the middle of the plate, it's not going to go there because it's running all over the place. And then Adam just trying to get a key hit here. He's done that so many times this year. Came in at .318. Runners in scoring position.
Adam has not had a hit in his last 12 at bats. Flied out in the first inning. Bases loaded, 2 down. And Green's delivery to him, a swing and a miss in the off-speed pitch. With the sacks full this year, Adams gone 4 for 14, a double and 3 singles. Orioles have had pretty good success with the bases loaded this year, hitting .304 as a team. They've had 6 grand slams, 103 RBIs with the bases loaded situations. Swing and a miss, that one down and away, and all of a sudden it's back 0-2.
Well, the first one was a good pitch, and that's a ball, and that's what the slider does to you, especially if you have a good one. I think it's going to be on the plate, and it ends up low and away. And we used to sit on the bench and go, wow, how do you swing at that? Then you go up there before the DH and you find out. A good slider, tough pitch to handle.
0-2 delivery on the way. Jones reaching, pops it up. Souvenir.
So that's 3 about as good as sliders as you could throw. And that's what Adam wanted. Somehow to foul it off to maybe get a better pitch to hit. And that's what pitching, I mean, he has him set up for something in off the plate if he can do it. Because if you go too far and the ball runs, you might hit him. Because you know he's looking away. He's got it. That's the Jim Presley philosophy. Good hitter's philosophy. Look away react in. 2 strikes.
Bases loaded, 2 down. Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way, and Jones will go to third base. Force anywhere you want to go. Ooh, you got him, but not by much. As Headley gets it over to Drew, charging down there was low with his good speed. Almost got there ahead of the throw, but as they say, almost matters not. Orioles have a hit. They leave the bases loaded. Yankees lead. Orioles Moment in History is brought to you by University of Maryland, University College. We saw Eddie Murray in the ballpark. This is about Eddie Murray, 13 years. Orioles, 21 in the majors, over 2,400 games at first base, more than any other in Major League history. A switch hitter, one of 4 players, 3,000 hits and 500 home runs, hitting from both sides. He hit .294 with the Orioles, 343 home runs, over 1,200 RBIs, inducted into the Hall of Fame in 2003. The Orioles' own Eddie Murray. And he's here.
Yeah, one of 4 guys over 3,000 hits, 500 home runs. Mays, Aaron, Palmeiro. So the first 2, it's about as good as it gets if you can emulate those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Palmeiro, a little reserve judgment because of circumstances.
Agreed. Brett Gardner flied out to center field his first time up, bottom half of the 3rd inning. The only problem with Rosh Hashanah for me is the bagel shop closes early today. That's a real disappointment. I mean that. If you ever come to New York, ESSA, Essa Bagel. It has, I mean, I've never tasted anything as good. 0-1 delivery.
Well, they bagel eaters, bagel lovers, they say it's the water. I mean, that really,
yeah,
I've heard that for years.
Yep. Well, whatever, they must be using some purified water because those bagels are spectacular, and the lines are out the door virtually every minute that they're open down on 3rd Avenue. 0-2 delivery, and that'll be taken for a strike, so made work of him there. That's 4 strikeouts in a row.
Brett Gardner didn't know what hit him. I mean, Bud Norris, a strike machine. There you go. Right on the corner. Let's see. That's in the neighborhood. Jeff Kellogg might have had a bagel this morning.
They were open this morning.
Right.
They closed for Rosh Hashanah this afternoon. Here is Derek, who grounded out his first time up, DHing in the ballgame. Had the chance fans were waiting for. Bottom half of the 9th inning last night with a runner on. Yankees down by 1, and Zach Britton struck him out to end the ballgame. He has not had a walk-off RBI since 2007, and he's not had a walk-off home run since 2005. Here's Norris's delivery, and one of the other numbers, when you play as long as Derek has, you end up in these situations. Last night was the 105th time that he made the game's final out in a Yankees loss. All compliments of Elias.
Yeah, I got a text from a baseball fan last night that said, what's going on? I mean, the perfect world, Yankee Stadium, career ending. He's supposed to hit a 2-run home run. Well, Zach Britton got in the way.
JFK said nobody said it was going to be fair.
No. But with 3,461 hits, I'm not sure that he was due. He's already been due.
1-2 delivery on the way. Close. Norris going for the outside corner. Jeter is 1 for 9. Lifetime off Bud Norris. One down here in the third inning. Yankees home run by Drew in the second. RBI double to Sheriff in the first. Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way, and he got him. Boy, ate him up on that one. That's 5 strikeouts in a row.
Well, he's on a roll, and I mean, 96 and a lot of movement. Bat slowed. You start the bat trying to catch up with the mid to above mid fastball, and you can see it. That's where you've always been able to try to pitch him down and in. Ball up and in, he fights away. Out over the plate, kills you with. Oh, nice pitch. Very nice.
So here is Headley with 2 down. Norris trying to strike the side out 2 consecutive innings. He gave up the home run to Drew leading off the second, and then the next 5 batters have all had Ks. Single and run scored for Headley with that 2-out base hit. He kept it alive for Teixeira's RBI double. 1-0 count. Shift on. Chase Headley, 1-0 pitch to him, and that's away. And he'll fall behind 2-0. Delivery. Got a hold of that one. Way back in right field. Goodbye, home run, Headley. So it's Drew homer, 5 strikeouts, Headley homer, and it is a 3-0 Yankee lead.
Yeah, make it a case. He'll be back next year. They get him. He's played well. Took one off the chin from Jake McGee, and it didn't even daunt him. Trying to go in, he doesn't get it. Drops the head on it. That's how you hit in this ballpark. Even if you're a power pitcher, and that's what Norris has been. And hanging slider to Drew for the home run. Fastball, thigh high, middle of the plate. That's the hot zone for most lefties.
So a 3-0 lead. 3 runs, 4 hits now for the Yankees, and they're hitting the home runs today. They're second of the ball game, and 1 strike count coming on Teixeira. Teixeira, the RBI double in the first inning. But Norris, 20 home runs off him now this season.
Well, Gary, I learned it early on in my career, the 2 parks where you really have to pitch in. Fenway Park, because they had all these big, strong right-handers, and then lefties could take the ball the other way. Yaz and Lynn and people like that. And here at Yankee Stadium, they crowd the plate. They get on the plate. They force you. They're looking away. You go in, but if you don't get it in, you can see the intent there. The ball just ran back in the middle of the plate. They're ready. And the ball flies to right field. And so you have aggressive guys. You talked about it last night. Teixeira's not changing his stripes. He's going to try to hit home runs. He's going to drop the backside a little bit and try to hit home runs. And that's what he did the first time, but he hit a double.
And picked up the RBI.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what he does all year long. Maybe not as many cut fastballs as we normally see with Norris, but he has been right at 95 and 96.
2 ball, 2 strike count with 2 down on Teixeira. And he'll foul another one off outside of first base. Yankees have not had a lot of home runs this season, as offensively they are at 146 homers, tied for 7th coming into the day today. 11th in average and 13th in runs. 2-2 delivery again. Teixeira will take it off the plate. So the count full, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Now you talk to everybody, and lack of offense up here. Teixeira's been hurt. Beltran with the bone spurs, going to have a elbow operation. And then even Ellsbury, he's not a third place hitter, but that's what he's hitting. He's had a good year for him, steals a lot of bases, but usually a guy that leads off.
Here's the 3-2 pitch, and Teixeira hits it foul. Again, another one outside of first base, getting around on these pitches, but a little too much.
Nice little grab.
Bud Norris. 8th pitch coming up in the at bat to Teixeira. Yankees trying to avoid mathematical elimination from any playoff hope today. 3-2 delivery, and he got him go after one. So Norris, it's been an all or nothing couple of innings here. Strikes the side out, second consecutive innings, but Headley got a homer. 3-0. Pennant chasing Page. The Dodgers can clinch the division title with a win over the Giants. They beat the Giants last night. Magic number now is down to 1 for the division. The Giants, they can clinch a postseason berth even if they were to lose. The Brewers have to win out. They've got to run the table in order to force a play-in game. The Giants would have to lose the rest of their contests. Not likely. And Kansas City, they can clinch a playoff berth as early as Thursday. They are tied with Oakland right now for the wild card. The magic number over the Mariners 3 in that wild card race. So things happening in a hurry here as we close in on the final weekend of the regular season.
Yeah, and over in the National League, the Nats over in Washington, our neighbors just down the road, they have the best record in the National League by 2 games and the biggest run differential. So congratulations to Matt Williams in his first year as the national skipper.
And everybody can't help in the area but talk about the possibility of.
What are we going to call it? Beltway Series?
I don't like Beltway Series. The Beltways don't connect. I mean, each city has a Beltway. But
95.
I like GW Parkway.
The Baltimore.
GW Series. Baltimore Washington Parkway Series.
There you go. That's the one you can come right out of, pretty much come right out of Camden Yards and
go right straight up.
Right up
the Parkway, right to the.
Make a little bit of a right, and you're there.
There you go. 3-4-0 for the Yankees, 0-1-0 for the Orioles. Green to Cruz. Cruz grounded out his first time up. Nelson will be followed by Clevenger and Paredes. Infield pulled around, playing him to pull. Ground ball the other way. He's had a couple of hits that way against the shift. I mean, all you got to do is if you can get it over there, there's nobody there to catch it.
And he makes a good pitch with his slider, and if you can't, and he falls off that way, talking about Shane Green. I mean, this is probably about the 8th hit to right field over the last 2 weeks, why the average is going up. I think he thinks somebody's standing there, and they aren't. Watch his head go down once he doesn't feel this ball. Catch it? No, I can't. No. don't really like the shift then. It's a good pitch and a bad result unless you're Nelson Cruz. Orioles need to get on the board some way.
Here's Steve Clevenger. Orioles have their second hit of the game. Green's delivery is going to miss outside.
So the game begins right here. Steve Clevenger, he knows he throws hard. He knows he's got a two-seamer, change-up and slider. But until you get to 2 strikes, hit a ball by the first baseman if he gets the ball in the middle of the plate.
Other way foul on Clevenger, and the count goes to 1-1.
Those are the kind of things you can work on. Yeah, the game is much more difficult than batting practice. Again, it's not practice, it's perfect practice, and trying to get in these situations where you can pull a ball. We've already seen routine ground balls can become base hits if they're hit when you have to defend a runner at first.
1-1 delivered to short. That's going to be a base hit. Hit it hard up the middle. Gardner will get it back in, and the Orioles have it going here in the 4th inning. Back-to-back singles, nobody out.
No, that's what Clevenger does. You mentioned still looking for a home run, but line drives to center field to work. Just drops the bat on it. It's the ball in the middle of the plate, and back-to-back singles.
So the Orioles, with 3 hits in the ball game, all singles. It will give Paredes a chance to pick up an RBI. He was a strikeout victim his first time up. Paredes with the Orioles has done well in these situations. 33 chances and 10 hits, including 1 home run. He's got Cruz on at second base, Clevenger at first. Ryan will hold the runner close at second. And Paredes foul tips it at the plate.
The one thing I noticed about Jimmy Paredes, and we saw it off Brandon McCarthy. McCarthy got hit around a little bit last night. But when he started going to his curveball, Paredes looked for it. I mean, he hit a rocket into center field. It was right at Gardner. So it looks that, again, offensively, pretty good idea at the plate. Would love to get a hit to keep things going here.
Here's the 0-1 delivery by Green to him. Check swing. Did he go? Yes.
Oh. Change up. Bottom drops out. What they're looking at, and
take your pick.
Yep. 50-50.
And an 0-2 count.
It's pretty good bat speed though for a check swing.
It was. That'll hurt your wrists.
Well, that's how a lot of guys hurt their obliques.
Yeah.
You start the bat, you train yourself, and then you stop it.
Here's the 0-2 delivery on the way to him. Paredes will go down swinging.
Fabulous.
Into the mitt.
Yeah. Bottom drops out, change up 88. Shane Green needed to make a big pitch, and he did. He got ahead, and then he just, watch this ball move. It's like a screwball. He reminds me, and I hope he doesn't feel balls up the middle with his bare hand. He reminds me of Kevin Brown. He's got that kind of movement. Kevin Brown would go on to have a heck of a career. The Dodgers would give him probably more money than they needed to. $120 million to pitch for the Dodgers.
Pitch is taken away by Kelly Johnson, who grounded out his first time up. He bounced one off the plate, played by Cervelli. Kelly Johnson at 277. Runners in scoring position. The Orioles another chance here with 1 out in the 4th inning, trailing 3-0. And that will miss outside. Here at Yankee Stadium, we were talking about it last night. Pretty good ballpark for it.
Yeah, he got it on. He got 1 hit on Monday night, and then he started the party last night. 17 hits and 5 runs, 3 home runs. Little cut fastball turned on it, and the Orioles had the lead.
2-0 count. Johnson will take it. It'll be inside. Kelly here in this ballpark, it's been all or nothing. He had 7 homers, 19 RBIs. Batting average at Yankee Stadium is .223. So these are the kind of situations he's produced in. He's had an opportunity to bring some runs across the plate. 3-0 count.
And you assume he's swinging.
And it's outside, and they're loaded. So Green has had these hills and valleys already in the first 4 innings of this ball game, and now with 1 away, they're loaded.
Yeah, back to back. Larry Rothschild looking on and going, "What's going on?" Joe Girardi comes over. But that's back-to-back innings with the bases loaded.
3 walks, 4 strikeouts.
Yeah, a little difference is that this time there's only one out. He loaded him up for Adam Jones, who would ground out to Headley down at third in the 3rd inning.
So Ryan Flaherty gets this opportunity, as do the Orioles. Bases loaded situation, and Flaherty has had 7 chances this year. He's gone 3 for 7 with the sacks full, all singles.
Oh, about 70 points higher when you got a chance in scoring position to drive him in. I mean, a big difference all the way from 215 to 286.
Delivery to him. Flaherty takes it down into the corner. It's deep, and it is a fair ball. 2 runs at least are going to score. Cruz and Clevenger. It's a double and 2 RBIs, and Flaherty comes through for the Orioles, and it is a 3-2 ball game.
Well, this is the 3rd start for Shane Green, and in one swing they get as many runs as they got in the first 2. Shut him out the first time, 2 runs in 5+ innings. So talk about getting your pitch and not missing it. Struggling with his control, looking fastball, getting fastball, and just missed a home run.
So Flaherty, what a finish he's having now. He's got 17 hits, 57 at bats here this month, over 275. And here's Joseph, 2 in scoring position, still 1 out, and the pitch is there for a strike. So each team with 4 hits, and the Orioles cut the lead of the Yankees to 1. David Huff in the bullpen already for the Yankees here in the 4th.
So we talked about making contact, get a ball in the air, struggling to even do that. Easy strikeout victim the first time up.
And that pitch is going to catch the inside corner for a strike. So Green, coming off the game against Toronto, where he gave up no runs on 3 hits and 6 2/3, having exactly the opposite kind of start here in this one against the Orioles. And more damage could be done here. Base hit would score a couple. 0-2 delivery to Joseph. It'll be outside. 1-2. Caleb to be followed by Nick Markakis.
Well, a lot of breaking balls. Loves the slider and the changeup. Almost 50-50. And it's not like he doesn't have good stuff. He just lost his command over the last 2 innings.
1-2 delivery on the way. Joseph will swing through it. Foul tipped it, held on to. 2 Ks by Caleb at the plate today.
And 5 now for Shane Green.
So Green trying to limit the damage. Nick Markakis coming up.
Yeah, good slider. Executed exactly what you want to do to a struggling hitter with 2 strikes.
Markakis at 232 with runners in scoring position. He has walked and flied out. Johnson on at third base. Flaherty with the 2 RBIs at second. And Markakis will take it, and it is a strike and a timeout asked for by Cervelli to go out to talk to Green. Couple of tough innings, 25 third, 19 so far here. Oh, 1 count. Markakis will step out. Green stepped off. Orioles 1 for 4 today with runners in scoring position on that hit by Flaherty. Here's the 0-1 to Nick. Jammed him, and he just had no chance.
Yep, a really good slider. Like I said, it's not about stuff, it's about command. And a strange inning. Made a good pitch to Cruz, but he just bounced one to the right side, and Clevenger had a nice swing. Strikeout, walk, double, another strikeout. When he makes good pitches, he gets them out. When he doesn't, welcome to the big leagues. You get hit.
Runners off second and third. Here's the 0-2 delivery by Green. Markakis jackknifes out of the way on that one, and the 1-ball 2-strike count. Big crowd here again this afternoon for the day game. Orioles wrap it up tomorrow night. The moments to remember with Jeter's final.
Yeah, it seems like it's the biggest crowd of the 3 games.
Yep. Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and Markakis will stay alive back into the seats.
Gary, I very rarely do you see as much movement from anybody. That ball dove. It's like playing wiffle ball. You make the ball do pretty much what you want. The ball just diving down and away, and Nick just hits it foul to keep alive.
You can see where the Yankees are hopeful and high on this right-hander.
It was only pitched poorly, and as you mentioned, only in 2 starts out of his 14.
1-2 delivery again.
So there's 94, and so he throws you the 2-seamer, then he comes back with a 4-seamer. He's already swung and missed a slider. In the back of your mind, if you're Nick Markakis, don't think he doesn't know he's got a changeup. He'll throw them all, and the count is that he can do that. The other thing is, who do you want to pitch to? You want to make your pitches. You want to, because Markakis got 4 hits, and David Lowe, even though he's hitting well in September.
1-2 pitch on the way to him, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Runs coming to the plate. Second chance. Throw is not going to be in time. And the Orioles add 2 more as Flaherty comes all the way around with Johnson in front of him. Markakis picks up a 2 RBI base hit, and the Orioles go from a 3-0 deficit to a 4-3 lead.
Well, this offense, obviously, when Nick Markakis can hit, is a much better offense. And here's your scouting reports. The Orioles saw Richardson throw against them in Baltimore. Bobby Dickerson sends them. You can see Flaherty scoring easily because they know the arm strength is lacking. Richardson, a good offensive player, but does just not having a real good throwing outfield arm, and they take advantage of it. So they do pitch to Nick, and he makes them pay.
49 RBIs now for Markakis. And the Orioles 4 runs on 5 hits and a run up on the Yankees. Big inning. 8th batter to hit for the Orioles here in the 4th will be Lowe. Drew a walk his first time up. Make contact. You never know. We've seen 2 key parts of that. That one down the line. That's a fair ball. Chased around in the corner by Richardson. It gets away from him. Here comes Markakis. There'll be no play on him over the 3rd with a stand-up triple. And an RBI is David Lowe, and the Orioles have a 5-4 lead.
Yeah, they really take advantage of a young pitcher. All of a sudden the command goes. Markakis gets the key hit, and Lowe goes up and looks fastball, and that's exactly what he gets. One of their better hitters in September, David Lowe, and he's sitting on it. The target's away, the ball's in, and this is how you get somebody to pull it. And then all of a sudden it's like playing in the arcades, as that ball just caroms around in the corner, and Richardson, by the time he gets to it, Flaherty easily scores.
3 triples on the season for Lowe. RBI number 15 for David. Orioles have 15 triples, and he's got 3 of them. And the Orioles batting around here in the 4th inning as they have scored 5 runs. And it will bring Adam Jones to the plate with a runner at 3rd. Jones 0 for 2 is flied out and hit into a fielder's choice. Green stays on here trying to work his way through the inning. It's a safety squeeze. Can they get him at first? No, it works. With 2 down here in the 4th inning, a safety squeeze. Jones a base hit and an RBI and a 6-3 Orioles lead.
Well, you mentioned 0 for his last 14, 13. Headley plays it back. Now this is good baseball. You've already scored 5. Why not put another one in? You're scuffling at the plate. You're not picking up the slider, and they give you the bunt, and he takes it.
And that will be it for Green as the Orioles come alive here in this inning. And look at Adam Jones. Everybody needs to know how to bunt when you head into the postseason. Adam practices that every day and laid down a beauty. And Headley back had no play. Orioles take the lead and they chase the Yankees starter.
There is the composite of the pitches he threw. First 2 innings looked like he was on his way to the late innings, pitching very well. And then all of a sudden, the walks, clutch hits, and some big hits by the Orioles. David Huff will come on. That is your M&T Bank call to the bullpen, brought to you by M&T Bank. When Baltimore succeeds, we all succeed. David Huff started the year with the Giants. Orioles saw him years ago, starting pitcher with the Cleveland Indians. Did not have the kind of stuff. Fastballs now into the mid 90s, 92, 93, somewhere in there. Done a nice job for the Yankees.
So the Orioles have put across 6 runs on 6 hits in this inning. Jones is on at first base, still 2 down, and back to where it all started. And the defense isn't the same. Cruz comes up, first time at bat in this inning. Second baseman Stephen Drew is playing on the shortstop side of the bag. Cruz put a base hit right about where Drew is now standing. They move him back over to the other side. And the Orioles went on from there. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Cruz will follow back.
Yeah, somebody asked me yesterday, so if you put a shift on it, does that mean you pitch to the shift? And that's a good question, because if Green made a good pitch and the result was a base hit, it was a slider down and away, that's where you want to throw it. Nelson, to his credit, over the last 2 weeks, average gone up almost 15 points here in the month of September, and he's hit his 40th home run, took advantage of it.
Out in front of that one and fouls it off. Ricochets like a good pebble skimming on a quiet lake.
So if you pitch him to the shift, that's, we saw McCarthy do it. He threw him a sinker down and in, and he waffled it for his 40th home run. Did you expect him to hit that ball on the ground? Maybe. So I always think it's a really tough call.
Pitch to your strength.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw over, runner back. I think one thing's going to happen with all the shifts and all. And Buck Showalter talks about it at times. Said, too much information, too much. If everybody keeps adjusting and trying to move and react to every pitch and everything that's going on, you forget who you are and what you do. 1 ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Delivery on the way, and that's going to go to center. That will fall in for a base hit. Stopping at second base is Jones, and the Orioles just keep on going. 7 hits here in the inning. And they had only 1 coming into the inning. That came in the 3rd when Flaherty got a base hit. Now have a 6-3 lead, and Steve Clevenger will be coming to the plate. The Orioles have scored as many as 7 in an inning this season. Game against Minnesota on the 31st of August. They have 6 in this one. Steve Clevenger, the delivery with 2 down. And the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. Clevenger facing Huff for the first time against the lefties. He only had 6 at bats against them with the Orioles, 1 for 6 against left-handed. Huff's delivery to him. That's going to miss, and the count goes to 2-0. What an inning for the Orioles, and what a collapse for Shane Green.
And he went from great to horrid.
Yeah,
He just
heartbeat.
completely lost his rhythm. And then the Orioles had some good at bats, which is what you're looking for this all year long, but especially this time of year.
Down the line, Headley over, will have no play.
And if you go back, it was the Cruz bouncer to the right side, nobody playing there, and then Steve Clevenger had a great at bat. He just dropped the bat on it and hit a nice firm line drive into center. And Paredes would struck out, and then that's where the command issues. Walked Johnson, and then Flaherty. But okay, you can't throw it over. Maybe you'll throw me a fastball double into the corner.
2-ball, 1 strike count. Delivery by Huff. Clevenger will take it. That's up, and the count goes in favor of Clevenger at 3-1. Orioles 7 hits in this inning, ties a season high. They had 7 in an inning against Tampa Bay in August. Ground ball to the middle. Ryan's got it. He'll go to the bag himself and record the out. But what an inning for the Orioles. They pick up the 6 runs on 7 hits and will leave a couple on base, and now the Orioles lead it by 3. And posting content on social media, just go to osbirdsnest.com. Enter today's bonus code Markakis before midnight tonight. Get 2 bonus tokens to be entered to win a monthly prize of the autographed player photo or a year-end prize of 2 tickets to opening day next year. That's the osbirdsnest.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. We're at Yankee Stadium, 3rd of 4. The Yankees had that 3-0 lead. The Orioles now lead it by 3. Markakis, a couple of RBIs in the inning. Lowe, an RBI. Jones, an RBI. Flaherty, 2. And a lot to cheer for while protecting one's upper surface.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a guy on the mound that's got a lot to cheer for.
Yeah.
3-0 went from 6 to 3. So Bud Norris. It's about 5 runs a game. They get him 6 in 1 inning. He says, "Thank you very much. Let me see what I could do here in the 4th."
Cervelli will lead it off. Strikeout victim. Down to the hole and a base hit. So Cervelli on the first pitch senior leads off the 4th with a single. And the Yankees have Drew and Young coming up. Time for you fans to tweet your photo using hashtag #MASSonFanPhotos. Chance to have it shown in a future broadcast. It is brought to you by AT&T. Drew delivered the home run in the second inning. Shift being put on here as everybody moves around. Paredes will go to the second base side as a third baseman. He's the one who's going to play deep. Kelly Johnson will stay close to second base. Flaherty will stay on the other side, on the left side.
Yeah, and he's gesturing to what happens if there are ground balls. Who's going to cover second? Flaherty is a long way away.
Showed bunt. If he's bunting, it would be for a base hit here, obviously. Takes the pitch for a ball.
Well, when you come in hitting 163, even though you homered on the slider, it might be something 3 runs down you think of. I mean, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you practice it every day if they're going to put this shift on?
Get you on base.
Yeah, I mean, isn't that how you win? On base percentage, score runs.
Do you get more money for that?
Yeah, you do actually, because you win.
There you go.
Well, I'll take that back.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter about winning.
There you go.
Anymore. We know Steve Hurt, one of the Elias guys, and Steve told me a long time ago, with arbitration on it, hey, if you win, it's great. If you don't, you still make a lot of money.
Yep. Pitch is taken up high.
Try going in the old days that convince your general manager, hey, I had a pretty good year hitting 163. So what if my on base percentage was 25%? Here we go. You're taking a 20% cut, and if not, go back, try to find a real job. And you kind of look there, you go, okay, what do you want me to sign for?
Yeah, exactly. Send it out again. And Norris gets it in there for a strike.
I mean, and this is an aberrational year for Stephen Drew. He's proven himself when he's healthy. I mean, he's a really good shortstop. Broke his ankle down in Arizona. I'm not really ragging on him because hitting 163 is not the norm for Stephen Drew. And one of the reasons they won up in Boston last year. But
wow, look at this.
Yeah. Well,
the Yankees, after a long wait that Norris had, watching the Orioles score, now he comes out and the first 2 Yankees are on.
Yeah, day games, road, day games, night games, very comfortable. I asked Bud, I said, you play golf pretty much every day? I said, morning or night? He said, well, the money game's in the afternoon. Well, does this play in it or not? Why? And the later the better. This is twilight. I'm great at twilight on the golf course. He's an avid golfer.
Chris Young coming up. 2 on, nobody out. Young, strikeout victim. Yankees trying to answer. The Orioles 6-run, 7-hit top half of this 4th inning. Orioles will play for 2. The infield moved around, not all the way. Young will take the pitch up high. First walk surrendered by Norris. He's got 6 strikeouts as well, and that'll bring Dave Wallace on a trot.
Yeah, he's kind of seeing what Shane Grain went on. And if you have to figure out how to stay over the pitching rubber long enough to throw downhill, and Dave looks like maybe rushing a little bit, so everything gets flat. Didn't want to walk through, did. Everybody goes through this. The guys that pitch a little bit better than the other guys are the ones that can make an adjustment on the fly.
Dave did all the talking on that visit, I'll tell you. And quickly.
Slow down.
On the bullpen phone is the manager.
Well, you got a lot of options. You got a lot of guys that see the scoreboard and they go, wow, I'll swoop down on a win here in late September.
1-0 count, 2 on. That's in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-0. So Norris, a 2-0 count, heading into deeper trouble here in this 4th inning.
And in Bud's defense, you get into these, and Brad Brock came in, pitched last night, but you get into these ruts and you say, okay, how am I going to do that? He just threw him a slider, even though he was behind in the count because it's the appropriate pitch, but he didn't execute it. So now you're into a fastball count.
2-0 is going to be ripped into the glove. 1-2, but not 3. Back to first base goes Drew on a screamer that ends up being a double play with Cervelli well off second base.
Well, you hang a slider. Young gets exactly what he wants, belts it, and then there's Jimmy Paredes.
Paredes right there, and that ball hit so hard. Cervelli had no chance. That's the kind of ball you might get a triple play on once in a while, but Drew had not gone very far off first base. He was hit so hard he didn't have time to get very far off first base. So he's still there, but now there are 2 down. What a big play that is. And here is Antoine Richardson, who will take the pitch for a strike.
Yeah, all you have to do is backtrack to the 6-run inning when a routine hopper, because nobody was playing there, bounced into the outfield. There you hang a slider. You don't make a good pitch. Young puts a great at bat, and you're 1 out away from getting out of this inning and maybe getting back on track for Bud Norris.
0-1 fouled away. That's why this is a game of inches, the way this game gets played. You look at the Orioles top half of the inning. You had Cruz, not a hard hit ball that ends up leading it off going the other way. Get a couple of bloop hits that end up falling in. You get a bunt by Jones. Safety squeeze, RBI. The hardest hit ball this inning was the one you just saw, resulted in 2 outs. 0-2 count. Clevenger rather holding the bag at first, and the pitch will be taken up high. 1-2. Richardson getting his chance. Show his stuff. Coming up from AAA when they expanded. 271 hitter at the AAA level this year.
Well, he is a speedster. Up 26 stolen bases, 93 games, 5 for 5.
In the air to right at Markakis. In an inning that looked like it was going to be a big problem. That double play comes, suddenly ends in a hurry, and the Orioles still have a 3-run lead. Baseball on Masson is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Here in the Bronx, it's the Orioles 6 and the Yankees 3. With the concluding game tomorrow, we'll be on the air at 6:30 O's Extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Kevin Gausman, Hiroki Kuroda, and the big story will be Jeter's final game here at Yankee Stadium. Orioles with a win here could eliminate the Yankees from any even mathematical chance of being in it, and we'll hope the weather holds up. And some heavy rains due in the New York area beginning overnight.
Yeah, a lot of weather rumors.
A lot of weather.
Yes.
A lot of concern. So much money's been spent for that ball game tomorrow by fans who bought tickets.
The commissioner of baseball who came in and Derek Jeter got the reward. How about $222,222 to the Derek Jeter Foundation?
It's great.
Yeah, it really
great
was.
Check written out, and Derek obviously for his foundation, even happier to get that than the commissioner's award, which he treasured. He said. Brady's at the plate. He has struck out twice. Huff in relief for the Yankees gets a strike on the outside corner as Green would leave. 6 runs, 7 hits over just 3 2/3 innings. He walked 3 and he struck out 5. A lot going on in the 3 2/3 innings he worked. Pitch is inside by Huff. 92-mile-an-hour fastball, 2-2.
Yeah, David Huff talked about how the Orioles saw him early on. He was a starting pitcher for Cleveland in 2009. Actually won 11-8. And then the command vanished and turned himself into a bullpenner.
Ball's going to go down the line. Base hit into left field. Makes the turn. Played by Chris Young to hold him to a single. And Paredes is on with a base hit. Start the Orioles' 5th. Join the team and bring your big league dreams to life at the 2015 Orioles Dream Week. It starts January 25 in Sarasota. Week filled with baseball games at the Buck O'Neill Baseball Complex and at Ed Smith Stadium. Instruction from former Orioles, and you get the full Major League experience. Travel packages include hotel accommodations and flights, and even your own Orioles uniform. For details, Orioles.com/Dreamweek. Johnson, a walk, run scored, and is grounded out. He'll lift it in the air to left field. Chris Young with the glare, lost it, found it.
Yeah,
couldn't believe he had it, but did, and then gets it back in.
Yeah, one of those. It's not a glary night. It kind of reminds me of the World Series I played when Willie Davis dropped those 2 fly balls. It was sunny, but it wasn't glaring sunny. And in my first World Series at Dodger Stadium, but he didn't see it, and then right there he does. And I mean, the glove right in front of the eyes, kind of in there. Big glove, good defender.
Then he looked to make sure he actually caught it. He wasn't sure.
No.
Here's Ryan Flaherty, big hit in that 4th inning as he delivered the 2 RBI double. 1 down, and the throw over, and Paredes back to the bag. Huff has appeared against the Orioles this year in 4 other games. He has a 1-0 record against the Orioles. Only has pitched 2 1/3 innings, a run on 5 hits against him. Long look and the delivery, and it'll be taken for a strike by Flaherty.
Well, he pitched for the Yankees last year, and then they traded him to the Giants and then got him back in June.
Flaherty 178 off left-handers. Not a lot of at-bats against them, only 45. You compare that to 225 against right-handers. 0-1 pitch by Huff. Flaherty takes, and that will miss.
Well, what we're seeing with Ryan Flaherty, and you talked about his ability to play so many different positions and play them well, is that with the injury to Manny Machado, he's gotten to play more. And when he's gotten to play more, he's hit better. And it tells you how difficult when you're not getting regular bats and you sit around and you try to do all the work. But sometimes some guys can figure it out.
Delman Young.
Yeah, Ryan. I mean, Ryan worked with B.J. Surhoff all winter, trying to work on. I mean, not only the physical part, but the mental part of hitting, and use the whole field. We saw him do it last night. When Green was struggling, sat on a fastball, ripped one down into the corner for a double. But because of injuries, he's going to be a big part of the postseason march for the Orioles. And he's sure-handed. That's the one thing.
And Buck's getting a look at him everywhere here in the final 10 days. He's played all positions in the infield. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Pretty good lead over there. Paredes not going, and that concern regarding the runner. A couple of pitches outside. 2-1 Flaherty with Joseph on deck.
You might see Ryan Flaherty do like a Jamie Quirk, where he learns outfielder and he learned to catch, and he. Still in baseball as a coach, but I mean, he played forever. Gave him another reason to have him on the team. Your emergency catcher.
Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Flaherty will go the other way. Foul territory, and no play. Headley giving chase. Well back into the seats. Flaherty with the double single. 2-hit ball game for Ryan. Flaherty has had 15 multi-hit games, 1 4-hit ball game this year.
I give him the code word righteous. I said, walk up the home plate. Told him this about 3 months ago, like you belong. He just smiles at me, but he said something to that.
You don't believe, you probably won't succeed.
And it's not easy, but you got to think you're going to. And again, he's a talented kid.
2-2 delivery to him. That one's fouled off.
If you think of the Rule 5 people that the Orioles have kept, I mean, 2 years ago it was him, and last year it was T.J. McFarland. Jim Presley is hitting instructor.
This is Flash. Sometimes players, when they're talking about him, I mean, all players, that's what they refer to him as. His nickname is Flash. So when you hear players say that, we've had it in interviews, that's who they're talking about, Ryan Flaherty. And the pitch, and that's there for a strike. He's gone.
No, he fouls off, 3-4 pitches, and then Huff makes a perfect pitch outside corner. I mean, one of those pitches you go right about now, I need to swing, and he followed it right into the glove. Right on the corner.
So Caleb Joseph will stand in. 2 down, runner on at first base. 5th inning with the Orioles on top by a score of 6-3. And this streak has just got to end. 0 for 23 now.
Well, you're into the paralysis by overanalysis mode when you're 0 for 23. It's like when you're pitching, and every ball when you make a good pitch, they hit it. When you make a bad pitch, they really hit it. You really start thinking too much.
Runner off first base, and the ball put in the air to center field. Gardner will go back. He's got it. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. Oh, it's the Orioles with that big 6-run, 7-hit 4th inning on top by 3.
Highlights: Orioles going to the 4th, trailing 3-0, and then all of a sudden routine ground ball. Nobody's playing there. Clevenger single to center, 1st and 2nd, and then after a walk, Flaherty down the line for a double, makes it 3-2. And Nick Markakis after another walk makes it 4-3, and then after another walk low down into the corner, Nick Markakis will score to make it 5-3, and then with 2 outs, boy, Adam Jones. They play back. He drops a bunt. He's been struggling. 6th run. The Orioles score 6 runs. There last night, 17 hits already through 5. 9 hits today. Those are your Geico game highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
So the Orioles getting again production up and down the lineup. Orioles certainly had that in the ball game last night, picking up the 17 hits in that ball game. The Orioles got assistance offensively from everybody in the lineup in that ball game. Bottom half of the 5th inning, Brendan Ryan, a strikeout victim, is first time up. Bud Norris, a walk and 6 strikeouts. The Orioles starter moving along in the ball game with the 68 pitches thrown so far.
Yeah, strike machine early. A couple of mistakes in the middle of the plate for a couple of solo home runs.
0-2 count.
Little nuances of pitching. They get you 6 runs. You come out. You really have to focus on your warm-ups because you've been sitting there for almost a half an hour. And Bud just didn't look like he got a little bit out of sync last inning. And then the
towering fly ball put up in the air. Lowe will get there and put it away. One away. Our PNC minor league report is brought to you by PNC Bank. For the achiever in you. We followed Eddie Gamboa's season. 5 starts with Bowie, 14 with Norfolk at AAA. Ends it up with a 5-7 mark. 3.81 with 108 innings worked. And the strikeout to walk ratio at 104 to 46.
Yeah, trying to learn how to throw the knuckleball. Reminded me a little bit of what we saw. Steve Wright came in for the Red Sox in the same transition. And pitched very well against the Orioles.
And that pitch is there for a strike. Top of the order. Gardner 0 for 2 is flied out and called out. Steve Pearce on the left. Expected to be in the ball game tomorrow. Out with that wrist that's bothered him. Back taking some batting practice. And Buck Showalter hopes he feels well tomorrow to have him back in the lineup.
Yeah, he's gesturing fine.
And he didn't have that big brace on there again either.
Well, cortisone, he got the cortisone shot Saturday night after the crash landing. Not that the slide, he made a great play on an errant throw and avoided the tag. It had nothing to do with it, just precautionary because he's been treating it, and then he felt all right to play. But why? That's the luxury of clinching the division as early as the Orioles did.
So hopefully Steve Pearce will be back in the lineup for the Orioles for the final game against the Yankees tomorrow, and then on to Toronto for 3. Norris's delivery, and that's foul back. Toronto newspapers saying today John Gibbons is going to be back as manager. The executives upstairs are going to exercise an option, and he'll be back with a couple of years, in fact.
Really?
Next year and the year after that. John Gibbons will see John and the Blue Jays for the 3 games over the weekend. Pitch on the way, and that's going to miss outside. Gardner eyeing that one, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. We were talking about the ball game last night. You go from a 1-hit night to the 17-hit game. The Orioles had at least 1 hit in every inning of the ball game last night, and that's only the 2nd time this year they've done that. They had a game against the White Sox where they did that. Foul back over the screen.
Well, it gives you an idea of how good Michael Pineda was. He was dominant. Threw hard, cutters, sliders, just didn't leave a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate. And then all of a sudden, you get a guy that's pitching very well, 5-1, 1.36 ERA, and Brandon McCarthy here, and he doesn't pitch as well, and the Orioles are all over him.
2-2 delivery on the way, in the air, left field. Lowe kept on it and was able to make the catch. Left field seems to be where the sun is shining a little bit here. Postseason baseball coming to Camden Yards next week. Make sure you're at home game 1 of the AL Division Series and all the games the Orioles have in the postseason. Don't miss your chance to be part of the great excitement at the Yard. You can go to Orioles.com/postseason or 888-848-BIRD.
And you can be part of the Orange Wave. That wasn't what it was on clinching night.
2 down, Derek Jeter up. Jeter is struck out and grounded out. A couple of hits, 10 at bats here in this series. Struggling against the Orioles this year, hitting only 161. And we'll foul that delivery by Norris back. He's had only 1 hit off Bud Norris, 1 for 10. Yesterday talked about whether or not he would play the games in Boston, the final 3 games. He'd said before he would. A little more tentative about that yesterday. If the Yankees are eliminated today or tomorrow, I don't know. He may not play. Foul tipped into the mitt, and the count at 2 strikes.
He also mentioned that his whole career has been about the next at bat, the next game, and we'll take a day to day.
His decision, obviously. And obviously, if the Yankees had any chance, any mathematical chance of going to the postseason, he'd play. But time they get to Boston, it looks like they will not have that chance. 0-2 count, 2 down. And outside from Norris, 1 ball, 2 strike count. Jeter lifetime against the Orioles, 296, 24 home runs. Obviously that average has dropped with the season he's had against the Orioles this year. But Norris looking for a 1-2-3 inning, and that'll be away 2-2.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to, and this is kind of the way it goes, is that when you get somebody that can get it up there 95, 96, whether it's Derek Jeter, Yastrzemski, all the great hitters, all the guys on the way to the Hall of Fame, the bat just slows. And then if you cheat to try to get to it, then you can't hit the breaking ball well out in front.
Norris, here's the 2-2 delivery to him. That'll go to short on 1 hop. Played by Flaherty over to first, and Norris has the clean inning. Retires the side in order. We've completed 5. Orioles up by 3. Our Mazda do-ups: Markakis, Lowe, and Jones. Noting page out of the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette and Bill Brink regarding the Pirates. Pirates made the playoffs for the second straight year after not only failing to reach the postseason, but falling under 500 for 20 straight years. The 2 playoff berths coincide with the 3rd and 4th seasons of manager Clint Hurdle at the helm. Our congratulations to Clint and the Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the real great franchises, and back into the postseason again. As, of course, the Orioles, having run the 3 solid seasons together. They bat here in the 6th inning. Nick Markakis, 2 RBI base hit, picked up in the 4th inning. He's walked and he is flied out. David Huff is on in relief and will miss outside with it to Markakis.
Yeah, the Orioles have gotten back to where the Orioles were when I was lucky enough to play for them, where whether it's Buck Showalter or Earl Weaver, you have that meeting or meeting in the mind, so to speak, where if you do the right things, they're going to be in contention. A chance to play in the postseason. And a lot of right things in spite of the injuries this year.
1-1 delivery on the way. Fastball. Markakis will move back and take the pitch inside. Nick, the 2-ball, 1 strike count. Orioles have done it by getting better in virtually every department as the season's moved along. If you look at their monthly records, Orioles were 500 in March and April combined. The May record was 500. Then in June they got 4 above, and then July they were 17-8, August 19-9, and they are 15-7 so far in the month of September. Markakis down to first base. Big hop. Ooh, snagged it. And covering his Huff. Good play made by Mark Teixeira.
Yeah, and also Huff had to backhand it. Ball goes up. You see all the sunglasses even on the ground balls, and there's your bad hop, and then a rocket, and then backhands it, finds the bag, gets it to him early. That's the key on this play. Running over there. Nick doesn't run. He's not one of those speedsters, and then try to take an angle, and the sooner you get the ball, the easier it is to find first base and tag it.
So one away here in the 6th inning. David Lowe, a triple, RBI, a walk, and he is flied out. 6-9-0 for the Orioles, 3-5-0 for the Yankees. The Yankees had the first 3 runs. Picket fence up there through 3, but the Orioles with that crooked 6 in the 4th to take the lead. Jones will wait on deck for the Orioles. Delivery to Lowe, and he'll crunch that one. Got to hustle to throw it short. Ryan does, and gets it. As promised earlier in the game, our AT&T fan photo. Thumbs up. And that will be it. Girardi on his way out to the mound. So with Adam Jones coming up to the plate, 2 away here in the 6th inning, and a bullpen full of pitchers. Girardi will make the change. Good job by Huff coming on in relief, giving up only a couple of hits and leaves with nobody on. Whitley coming on to pitch. The Orioles have a 6-3 lead. The Orioles are going to wrap up the season series against the Yankees. It'll be Kevin Gausman on the mound against Hiroki Kuroda. Our coverage on MASN 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Dodge, and our game coverage at 7. All the access you need right here on MASN.
And Chase Whitley, not even on the 40-man roster. So with all the injuries, Nova, Sabathia, a multitude. Pineda with the lat problem early on. They needed a starter. Chase Whitley had a chance to start 3-3 as a starter, then in the bullpen down at Scranton, their AAA affiliate, and then back in the big leagues as a reliever. Not outstanding number, just a guy at 92 with a nice little breaking ball, could throw some strikes. Last year pitched the whole year down at AAA Scranton. 29 games, 5 starts out of Alabama.
25 years old, went to Troy University. Adam Jones will come up against him. Huff leaves, couple of innings, no runs, couple of hits, and 1 strikeout for David Huff. Jones, the base hit, safety squeeze, 4th inning. He's hit into a fielder's choice and is flied out. And Whitley's delivery to him will be inside for a ball. Orioles with 2 away here in the top of the 6th inning. Whitley gets it in, popped up, infield. Ryan, shortstop, waiting, and has it. So the Orioles get out 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Bottom half of the 6th inning coming with the Orioles on top, 6-3. To me, I would never have thought the American League East as a group would have the best winning percentage of the divisions in baseball.
Yeah, I mean, early on, everybody was saying, "Oh, it's not as strong," and yet early the numbers were even better. So,
I don't know.
Yeah, it is
what it is.
Yeah.
They are. Not by much over the American League West, which is tough. National League Central, and then you get down to the National League West, which has had 2 teams really. And the National League East just had Washington running away with it. But that's pretty impressive for the American League East clubs, where everybody said, oh, not nearly as good, and a lot of mediocrity and 500 ball clubs and that sort of thing.
Well, the Orioles have a lot to do with that,
Yeah.
because they've almost won 60% of their games, and if they win today, they will have been right at 60. So you have 3 winning teams. But the Orioles have, other than the Angels, the best record in the American League. Then you have 3 winning teams in the Central. Tigers with 87 at the top, Orioles at 94, and then you have the B team, the Angels, with 97. Just think if Oakland hadn't have gone into the fold mode, winning 26 out of their last 41 games.
Pretty good numbers for the American League East. And the pitch from Norris, bottom half of the 6th inning, coming to Chase Headley. Headley's had a big day already. A single, run scored, home run. 2 for 2.
Yeah, the one team that still has battled all year long, and you really have to, are the Rays. I mean, you lose 12 in a row to go to 24 and 42, and been treading water ever since. But 76 and 81. I mean, it's a long way. They got to 500. I think it took them a couple of months to do it.
Well, Boston.
Yeah. Well,
oh my gosh. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. Boston is 68 and 89 in last place, which is where they're going to end up.
You talked about it. Last to first
to last.
I don't think it's ever happened.
Nope. They wish they weren't going in the record book with that. 2-ball, 2-strike count. And Headley on the high heater is strikeout victim number 7.
5 strikeouts back in the 2nd and the 3rd in a row. And then right here, backup slider. Chase Headley. Look at the facial expression. He goes, "Oh, come on. Ball's supposed to break. It didn't."
Norris had his strikeout high this year against New York in the game on the 12th of this month when he struck out 10. Now he struck out 7 in this one. Cervelli will go after it, foul it back. He has singled and struck out.
Teixeira.
Oh, Teixeira.
Yeah, that's right. Cervelli wishes.
Yes.
Well, maybe not. He wants his wrist to feel better than Mark's, but he wishes he had that kind of power. And
I've already recorded a strikeout for Teixeira in my scorebook here. So.
And then he also wants the 8-year, $183 million deal. Francisco Cervelli would even smile more than normal.
Tried to give it to you, but can't do it. 0-1 count. Shift fully employed here. Teixeira will take it up high.
Yeah, the way he's been hitting, I mean, the 2 doubles have been hooked line drives where even if you're playing second base and you're in the shift, you can't quite get there. A couple of dives. Second baseman just start leaning left. That's where he's hit it the last 2 days.
Norris will miss up high to him again. 2-ball, 1-strike count. Wind blowing out towards right. We've had a gusting wind as the storm coming up the coast moves in slowly.
Oh, so that is what this weather pattern is going to be about tomorrow. Yes. The storm moving up the coast.
Very windy. Here's the nope. There's nothing.
So let's see. The commissioner said it's supposed to rain, but it's going to get out of here. Then I heard 90% all day, and then 60 game time. And then I heard 100%.
It'll change completely by tomorrow morning. No. And a swing and a miss as he got him way out in front of that pitch.
It appears to me, as a former pitcher, that what Mark's doing because of the wrist, he just starts to bat, and if you get it in his zone, I mean, he can hit it a long way and hit it hard. But if you change speeds, just again, it's the right wrist. Though, if you're hitting from this side, it's the lead arm that gets to the baseball.
2-2 delivery on the way, and I was right. He did strike out. I'd already recorded that. Sorry again. And that's 8 strikeouts for Norris.
Yeah, Jeff Kellogg I think this ball's a little bit off the inside plate. I mean, watch Teixeira's looking down and he just shakes his head because it's a ball. It's almost on the white line. Mr. Kellogg, I don't know if this is the late September strike zone, but he's favoring the pitchers today.
Yes.
Yeah, if you throw it over. Shane Green certainly was taking advantage of it until something happened. Somebody invaded his uniform
and he couldn't
became
get
a
close.
different guy. It was unbelievable.
All right, here's Cervelli. I knew he'd get up. He has a single and he has struck out.
Well,
Two
wait.
down.
Wait, do I see a money belt around his waist? He's got the Shara contract. He's probably slowing down, but much happier about it.
Things happen when you have that money belt on, don't they? All of life.
Well, you're right
down.
about that. I like to try it on.
Yes. And the pitch will be taken inside. So Francisco as a 2-0 count here. Drew on deck. If they can get there. Norris trying to retire the side in order. Set the side down that way in the 5th. 2-0 count. Right-hander's delivery to him. Whacked to center. Hit hard. Jones just turning around and running. You'll get there. That wind's blowing in. And he's got it. And he does retire the side in order. And that will be 7 in a row set down. 6-3-0s. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Adam Jones, can you bunt?
Yes, he can. 0 for 13. Headley back at third, trying to add runs, which will be the 6th run of the 6-run 4 inning. And you made a great point when you called this. If you don't practice it, you usually can't do it. Really, I mean, timely heads-up baseball.
And the safety squeeze would push a run across, and the Orioles 6-9-0 to the Yankees 3-5-0. As we go to the 7th inning, Cruz, Clevenger, and Paredes will be due up against Whitley. 25-year-old right-hander coming on to record the final out of the 6th. For the starter, Green, 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 2/3. Norris still in for the Orioles, giving up the 3 runs on 5 hits, only 1 walk, and he has had 8 strikeouts. And Nelson Cruz will stand in. On top, of course, in home runs in the majors, Giancarlo Stanton still leading in the National League. Cruz with 40, 3 ahead of Carter of Houston. Also second in RBIs with 107 to Mike Trout's 110. And the pitch is in there for a strike. More and more will be talked about with Nelson Cruz as we get through this weekend, and the national media begins to focus on the teams that are going to the playoffs. That'll be to the middle, and he's got another base hit. I mean, he's really moving it around the yard here in his hits.
Should have put the shift on.
Yeah, he didn't have it on, so he goes that way. I mean, there you go. That's adjusting.
Well, you talked about the 17 hits. It just seemed when the Orioles kept it in the park last night that they just found holes. Very fast infield here. Yeah, we were kind of touching on it, and you and I before the game, but also Buck Showalter. I said, where's Cruz in the MVP? And they don't even mention his name, like he doesn't exist.
I'm really surprised at that. He deserves more of the national coverage than he's gotten. He's got a 3-hit ball game today again. Cruz has had 3 singles. That's his 42nd multi-hit game and his 8th 3-hit ball game.
Well, he's also hitting .360 with 5 home runs in the month of September. And a lot of times you say, well, your batting average really can't go up that much or go down that much in September. Well, it can if you get as hot as he has. He's all the way from .257 came in today, and of course he started at 270. Now he's up. He's gone up almost 15, 17 points in 1 month, and that's hard to do unless you're red hot, and he is.
Steve Clevenger at the plate will take the pitch.
Yeah, there's a changeup from Whitley, and Steve's had a nice little afternoon because he got the second hit in that 6-run 4th inning.
1 for 3 and a run scored in the ball game.
Pinch hit on Monday night, hit a base hit to left field, ground ball between third and short. And that's the kind of hitter he is. The only thing he couldn't do when he was one of the 2 catchers up was hit with runners in scoring position. Just couldn't seem to get it going.
Clevenger with a 1-ball 2-strike count. Most of his at-bats this year came at AAA Norfolk. And a ground to first to Shera. There's one. Now you got a rundown tag play required, and there it is. Double play.
Yeah, one of the things, of course, you cringe because the last thing you want is Nelson Cruz. Buck Scholl are talking about it. He stayed healthy this year. There's the tag play, so now it becomes a tag out play, not a force. But the one thing Nelson's been able to do when he had problems down in Texas with the quads. Tommy Hunter again pitched well last night. In fact, he's now on 11 straight consecutive outings without a run.
2 down here, nobody on with a double play. Now Paredes coming up. He's had a base hit, a couple of strikeouts in the game. Whitley's delivery to him will be taken outside for a ball. Orioles with a chance to mathematically eliminate the Yankees with a win here today. Popped up back and no play over the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Yankees with the loss last night, 42-37. Now here at home, they played .500 ball on the road. They finish up. Joe Girardi's ball club will go to Boston. This is his 7th year. .571 win percentage for Girardi in his seasons with the Yankees, and a lot of decisions to be made by the organization in the offseason. Swing and a miss, and a 1-2 count.
Yeah, well, it tells you they go out and spend $155 million on Tanaka. Of course, he gets hurt, but he still wins 12 games. Sabathia, he doesn't pitch well, has knee problems. Nova has Tommy John.
One of the sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Pineda gets hurt, but they spent like $450 million, and they may not win as many games as last year. And that tells you how important pitching is.
And they're talking about a 6-man rotation to begin next year. They think they may do that with some older pitchers like Sabathia, who you really don't want pitching every day, every 4 days rest.
Yeah, and then Tanaka that's what he was used to in Japan, and he's coming off the partial tear of the ulnar collateral ligament, which is, if it tears, you got to have the Tommy John.
And they've got 6 pitchers, with Nova probably coming back midway. That will be caught in the air by Drew. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. 7th inning stretch time, day game in New York. Orioles 6, Yankees 3.
Had great stuff today. Early on, throws a home run, then strikes out 5. A lot of strikeouts. On a turn out, I mean, every kind of pitch, change up, sliders. Richardson down right there, nice little slider. And then Gardner on the outside corner with a fastball. Jeter can't catch up to 96. Up and away to Teixeira. High backup slider to Headley, and then one a little bit off the corner. Teixeira shaking his head, but anyway, you look at it, he had great stuff. They get him. He's down 3-0, and they're the mix of his pitches. More fastballs today. Not as many changeups. So the 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and he will leave with a chance if the Oriole bullpen holds. And the Jiffy Lube pitching change. The Orioles can check this pitching change off their to-do list. Isn't it time for you to check off oil change off yours? Come into Jiffy Lube and help your vehicle keep running longer. And that's what Tommy Hunter's been able to do. Boy, has he been good. Pretty much now a 2. Well, he's a 3-pitch pitcher because he's got a 2-seam and 4-seam fastball. One rises a little bit. A little bit more velocity, and then the 2-seamer, and then a good curveball. So he's really pitching well. 10 straight scoreless appearances. Last year, not as good against lefties. All the home runs, 11 of them last year against left-handers. They hit over 300 this year, getting both righties and lefties out.
Bottom half of the 7th inning here at Yankee Stadium. 6-3 ball game. As the ball clubs head to the postseason, we've taken a look at some of the prognostications that people are making just for the fun of it. You're always going to get odds put up here with the teams. Here's what SB Nation had for odds of winning the World Series. Angels were at the top there, 5-1. The Tigers 6-1. Dodgers, Nationals both 11-2, and then the Orioles at 13-2. That from SB Nation.
Well, nothing changes.
No.
Most teams pick the Orioles to finish 4th or 5th this year.
Yep.
So take that. Oh, little Stevie Pierce is in.
So good to see Pierce back. Doesn't wait until tomorrow. He'll come on for Clevenger to play at first base. Showalter getting him into the ball game, sitting out with that bad wrist.
And Ryan Flaherty is over on the left side of the infield.
Jonathan Scope is in the ball game. There he is at second base. First ball tagged by Drew deep to center field, but playable.
Yeah, you mentioned the wind. Yeah, it looks like it's kind of shifted and blowing in. So he hits it well. He goes, didn't I hit that pretty well? Yes, you did. Like spring training after that last out of the last inning where Cervelli belted one.
Now the wind's going to knock any ball down unless you get to that jet stream right center field.
Well, you being a resident of Sarasota, you know that when the wind blows out, you kind of, and when you're pitching in Sarasota or used to be in Lauderdale or Miami and the wind's blowing out, you kind of practice. You know how you always kind of put the glove up and wait for the ball to be thrown out after you throw home runs, you know, with that annoyed look on your face. That's what you practice out in the outfield. If it's blowing in, you're going, hey, this is fabulous.
Love it.
You know, let them hit it as hard as they can.
That's why you have to beware of home run hitters in spring training in Florida.
That's why you got all that, and you also have to have the club made because you can look pretty bad.
Yes, depending on which way it's blowing.
I remember the late Jim Harden. He had some great years for the Orioles. Reggie Smith hit one about 800 feet, and the wind kept it in. And he came in, big grin on his face. And Hank Bauer was the manager. And he says, got to pitch with the elements. And Hank looked at me and said, you keep pitching like you're pitching, you'll be pitching with the elements in Rochester. And the smile went right off Jim Harden's face.
So much for that.
Yeah. Let's keep it somewhat in perspective.
Chris Young at the plate, one down, nobody on. Hit into a double play in the 4th inning on a hard line drive. That one's going to be outside. Kelly Johnson has moved over to third base. Brady's out of the ball game. So you've got third to first, Johnson, Flaherty, Scope, and Pierce in the infield for the Orioles. 2 ball, 1 strike count, bottom half of the 7th. Oh, mama. You saw the hands and body move on that, and then he couldn't, just froze him on that.
Well,
pitch.
That's the last pitch that Chris Young was looking for. The last time up, or 2 times up ago, he's the one that hit the line drive for the double play. Otherwise, Norris might have had a little more problems. But he wasn't expecting that hook.
2-2 delivery, and that's going to miss. Norris out of there with a chance to win his 15th, go 4-0 in his career against the Yankees. While Shane Green could be the loser, the Yankee starter 2-0 against the Orioles, with both those wins having come this season. Hunter with a 3-ball 2-strike count on Young. And Chris down to third, fair ball. That'll roll into foul territory. Lowe over to get it on his way to second base. He'll go into the stand-up 1-out double.
So Chris Young says, wow, finally evens out. Hit it hard. Nobody's playing there. Came back with 3 straight breaking balls. This one stays up and in the middle of the plate. And you're playing percentage baseball, so you can see Flaherty off the line, anticipating the ball's going to be hit. Excuse me, Kelly Johnson. Sorry. Who's on third? It's not who's on first. We know who's on first. That's Steve Pierce. I just don't know who's on third. Anyway, it was whoever was playing third. It was off to his right, and which happens to be Kelly Johnson.
Yes. That's 10 hits for the Orioles, and that's going to be it for Hunter. Mike Showalter's on his way out.
Well, McCann, Hunter comes in. I think Buck actually anticipated this because Tommy pitched last night. You can match up. Mattis hasn't pitched in a while. Last night, McCann is going to hit off of Andrew Miller. He hit the home run.
And he wants all of his bullpen active. The O's and Buck and Angela Showalter invite you to run or walk in the 5th annual Kids Peace Trick or Trot 5K. Saturday, November 1 at Oriole Park. Wear your favorite Halloween costume. Enjoy a fun course ending right on the field. Prizes to top runners, age group winners, and proceeds benefit Kids Peace foster care and community programs of Maryland and Washington, D.C. Register at kidspeace.org/5K run.
So Brian Mattis, fastball, slider, curveball, changeup. That's the selection that he can throw up there. And then Brian McCann will pinch hit. And he can hit lefties. 294. And hit his 8th home run against left-handers last night. Off of Andrew Miller. Missed with a slider, came back with a fastball, 2-run home run. Got him back into the game.
Richardson 0 for 2, being pinch hit for here, and McCann will take the pitch for a strike. Young is on at second base, picking up the 1-out double in the ball game. Hunter works the third, gives up a hit.
23 home runs, loves to hit here, 19 of them. Yankee Stadium.
Brian Mattis, 0-1 count. Infield shifted around, playing McCann to pull. And the pitch outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. McCann 2 for 6 with a home run off Bryant. Home run in this series.
Yeah, the home run. He had 2 home runs on the last road trip into Baltimore. He hadn't hit a home run on the road in like 3 months.
Mattis with a 1-1 delivery to him. That's going to catch the inside corner. And Mattis gets ahead of him. Ball and 2 strikes. Yankees only down by 3 here, and in the 7th inning there's time. So Showalter trying to get some matchups here and preserve a W late in the ball game. He'll keep the bullpen active. O'Day's out there throwing now.
Yeah, it was 5-2 when he hit his 2-run home run yesterday, and they closed within 1.
1-2 delivery on the way, and a ground ball towards second base. Jonathan Scope waits on it. Records the out. McCann retired. Young goes to third, and there are 2 down.
Really excellent execution of your lone away slider. O'Day getting ready just in case. So there is a difference. Brian Mattis, he's done such a great job out of the bullpen after being converted from a starter. You know, against the lefties at 228. Righties a little bit different story. 283. 2 home runs, lefties 5 right-handers.
Brendan Ryan stands in. He is struck out and flied out. Runner at third and 2 down. Orioles, their lead on a 6-run, 7-hit 4th inning. 1 inning of scoring, but so far it's been enough. Mattis will miss away to Ryan. Ryan trying to get the out here and leave that runner on at third base.
Well, that's why it's so important. And spring training was all about trying to get him more comfortable talking about Brian Mattis against right-handed hitters. You got Gardner on deck, so you'd like to have him available.
Base is one that was up and in. Ryan's gone 3 for 24 against the left-handers and had no chance of hitting that pitch. Came up and in on him. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Mattis's delivery to him, and that will be away.
Yeah, I remember Brendan Ryan when he played for the Cardinals before he came over to the American League in Seattle and then eventually the Orioles. I mean, he could hit 260, 270. It's like when he got to the American League, you know, maybe the fact he played, because he's such a good defensive shortstop, they played him almost every day up in Seattle. He stopped hitting.
Mattis gets it in. That'll go to center and stay up for Adam Jones. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 8th inning coming up. 6-3 Orioles. Native Al Kaline, 1974, recorded his 3,000th career hit. Ironically, it would come against the Orioles and Dave McNally. And in 1916, Marty Cavanaugh at Cleveland's League Park hit the first ever pinch hit grand slam. Al Kaline, one of the game's not only great players but outstanding people. Hall of Fame, 1980. He had over 22 seasons played, 3,000 plus hits, 399 home runs, 10 gold gloves. Finished with a .297 career batting average and had a great performance. 68 World Series, hit .379 against the Cardinals for the Tigers. El Kalon. Perez is going to play in right field. Perez just joining the Yankees today. Yuri Perez was claimed off waivers by the Yankees from the Nationals on Monday. So he is in right field. Ball's going to be hit that way, and that's a base hit. So Kelly Johnson against the shift will deliver a single, his first hit of the ball game, 1 for 3.
Well, starting to heat up, getting some at bats, moving all over as you get ready for the postseason. Another late season. There's David Phelps, late season acquisition by the Orioles.
That will bring up Ryan Flaherty. Flaherty, double, single, 2 RBIs, 2 for 3 in the ball game. The Orioles now have 11 hits, so they're following up the 17-hit ball game last night, so far with 11 in this one. Tigers beating the White Sox 3-1 today. They're in the 8th inning there, so probably going to have a final there before this ball game is over as the Tigers try and move closer to a division title. Swing and a miss. Flaherty on top of that one, 1-1.
Yeah, the Tigers and David Price 3-0 lead going to the 9th. Price gives up 3 runs. They come back. Herrera gets the game-winning hit last night. David Price pitched well, but I thought the pitch count would be real high. It was only 113, and he pitched a complete game all the way into the 9th.
Taken by Flaherty, 2-ball, 1-strike count. The Orioles still chasing the Angels. Angels have 97 wins. The Orioles can get a victory today. They will have 95. Chances lessening. Runner goes. Protect me swing. Left center. And it's going to fall in for a base hit. Johnson read it right. He stayed at second base as he was off on the pitch. And he saw it had a chance, so he didn't go back to first, and thus does not become a force out. And Flaherty's got his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Yeah, the Orioles don't hit and run very often. You could see Kelly Johnson starting, try to put the ball in play. Somebody has to cover in the infield, as it turns out. Ryan Flaherty hits the little pop fly. Nobody can get to it. Chase Whitley says it wasn't really that bad a pitch, but boy, the hit and run makes you make contact. And Flaherty gets his 3rd hit of the afternoon on that.
So Whitley works an inning and a third, charged with 3 hits, responsible for the base runners on Phelps to pitch. The telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer with you. The Orioles on top in this ball game and trying to add to it.
Yeah, David Phelps, elbow problem started early in the year. Had the elbow inflammation on the disabled list for over a month. There is the record. And he's now made 13 relief appearances on the season. Big curveball, cutter. Doesn't walk a lot of guys, and he will inherit a couple of base runners.
It's only worked against the Orioles for an inning and a third, giving up 2 runs on a hit in that time pitched against the O's. Caleb Joseph is coming up 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a fly ball out. Johnson's on at second, Flaherty's on at first, 2 singles here in the 8th inning. The Orioles now with 12 hits in the ball game. Squared to bunt, down to third. Got to go to first, and will get Joseph. So a sacrifice moves Johnson to third and Flaherty down to second with 1 away.
Yeah, Caleb Joseph, it's a nice little job of squaring around and getting it down. Like to see that, struggling with a bat, but get him over, and he does.
6th sacrifice he has had this season. So now with 2 in scoring position, Markakis will get another shot at it. Markakis a single, a run scored, 2 RBIs. He's 1 for 3 in the ball game.
And they're going to walk. Yeah, as they should. 4 hits last night. Big 2-run single in the 6-run 4th. Chose to pitch to him. Wow. Oh, Cervelli, he goes out and they hit a dive back to his right. Otherwise, the ball goes to the backstop.
Nick Lake be ready to swing.
Well, saw Cabrera beat the Orioles when he played with the Marlins. Talking about Miguel, tried to intentionally walk him. Watch this pitch.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't really hittable. And I think Francisco got his. He was kind of going hard to his left. I always found it, and I didn't have to do it very often. And of course, I never threw a grand slam, so I never wanted to walk the bases loaded. But intentional walks are tough. You just don't. I know you practice them. You do them in spring training. That's part of the pitcher's fielding practice. But it's just different.
So it sets up a possible double play here, obviously, with 1 away. David Lowe, though, tough to double up with his speed. So Lowe stands in, 1 down, and the bases are loaded. Orioles having bases loaded chances in the 4th inning came through. See what they can do with it here. Johnson, the lead runner, Flaherty at second, and Markakis on at first base. And David Lowe with a chance to really blow the doors off this ball game. They give him the right center field alley, and the pitch is going to be way inside from Phelps for ball 1.
Well, concussion-like symptoms, so it really slowed David Lowe after he was acquired from Kansas City in the offseason. And if you talk to him, thinks, and the numbers support that he's swinging the best of the year. So we'll see if he's on the postseason roster.
1-0 count, and the pitch is taken up high. He had a triple picked up in the 4th inning. RBI.
He's such a good defender that even if he wouldn't be on the initial division roster, I can't imagine him going very far. He'd be one of those guys that would, as you mentioned, travel with the club, I would assume, and just in case.
2-0 delivery. Well, Buck Showalter right now favors him on the postseason roster, I think. Again, and Buck's not delaying decisions about it. They really do want to know who we're going to play. What's the team? Who's the pitcher? What are the matchups potentially that could exist in a game? And you can't. They've done that for the Detroit, Kansas City possibilities, but don't know yet who it'll be. Put up in the air, right field. Pretty good wood on that. Perez goes back. Runner will tag at third. Johnson. He'll come in to score. Throw goes all the way to the cutoff man, almost all the way through. And moving up on it is Flaherty to third. So an RBI for Lowe is second of the ball game in the sac fly.
So David Lowe does a nice job. There's run number 7. Now the 4-run lead. We find out Perez has a nice little arm out in right field. Throws a BB in there.
A couple of sacrifices in the inning. One the bunt to move him up. One the fly ball to get one in.
That's how you get him in. And so Caleb Joseph part of that RBI by David Lowe.
Lowe with the 2 RBIs in the game, 15 on the season. Jones, base hit, part of that big 4th inning RBI. Runners at first and third, 2 down. Adam will take the pitch for a strike. Orioles up 7-3. Orioles have stranded 6 so far in the ball game. Pretty efficient. Down the line and foul. Oh, 2 count on Jones. Adam against Phelps, 4 for 11. The impressive offensive games here, back to back for the Orioles. Against the Yankees, 0-2. Phelps delivery to him. That's going to go to the gap and right, and that'll fall in for a base hit. Another RBI. Jones singles. Flaherty scores, and the Orioles extend the lead to 8-3.
Yeah, Phelps gets lefties out so much better than righties because he can pitch inside, and he's almost at 300. So a hittable ball out over the plate. This is when Adam Jones, he stays on it. Uses the whole field, gets himself an RBI. Orioles now have a 5-run lead.
92 RBIs, Brad Brock in the bullpen. Adam trying to reach that 100 RBI mark. Cruz, of course, there with 107. Runners at first and second. 8 runs, 13 hits for the Orioles. Nelson Cruz, 3-hit ball game, all singles, a run scored. Continues to move the average up, 273. Pitch taken outside as Nelson came in the 274 number against the Yankees on the year. Certainly hasn't hurt that cause. 2-0 count. Whitley will be charged with both runs scored in the inning. Foul back. Seeing the faces of the Yankees. The beginning of the end of a year. One more, they are mathematically eliminated. 2-1 delivery on the way, and a broken bat bloop. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Marquez will score from second. Jones on his way to third, and Cruz has a 4-hit day. He picks up the RBI. And the Orioles have a 9-3 lead.
Now, if it was Baltimore, they would be yelling Cruz, but I'm not sure with Phelps because he fights this one off. He's so strong. Nobody playing out there. A lot of room in this outfield, especially down in left center, left field.
So the RBIs, 3 in a row. Lowe, Jones, and Cruz picking them up here, and the Orioles lead at 9-3. And Steve Pearce, he is going to get a chance at the plate. This is his first at bat. Goes after it, drills it to left field, but it's right at Young, and he's got it, and that will retire the side. 8 batters coming to the plate for the Orioles, who pick up 3 more in the 8th inning and lead at 9-3. After their 13th win in the 18 games against the Yankees, the final game of the season against the Yankees right here tomorrow night, and we will be on the air 6:30 O's Extra, 7 o'clock for the ball game. Kevin Gausman will be going against Kuroda, weather permitting, and then off to Toronto, where Chris Tillman and Wei and Chen will pitch the first 2 games. Drew Hutchison, J.A. Happ against them. R.A. Dickey is scheduled to conclude the season on Sunday for Toronto. The Orioles, Buck Showalter is going to pitch a bunch of people on Sunday. He may even start with a reliever, but he's going to have a lot of people. He wants to make sure everybody has gotten the work in before the time off, before the postseason.
Otherwise, he could be a menace and staff.
Yes. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Ryan Mattis will stay on, and the pitch to Gardner, who is 0 for 3, is a strike. Mattis coming on to get the final 2-out 7th inning. Tommy Hunter an inning, a third of an inning, gave up a hit. Norris 3 runs, 5 hits over 6, stands to win his 15th. 0-1 delivery, and that too is there for a strike. 0-2. Preston Claiborne in the bullpen.
A 12-man bullpen for the Yankees. I have a feeling we're going to see most of them before this series is over.
Mattis ahead on the count, 0-2. Gardner protecting. Fouls that one off and keeps it at 2 strikes.
Yeah, the only pitcher other than Claiborne that the Orioles haven't seen, this is in Game 3, is Adam Warren.
There's time. Still time, right?
Joe, make time. Mr. Girardi.
Gardner 2 for 15 lifetime off Mattis. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and that's another one that's going to go foul. So it stays at 2 strikes with Jeter on deck, and then Headley due up. Detroit's extended their lead 6-1 now over the White Sox in the 8th inning.
Yeah, Chris Sale out of the game, and you know you can wreak havoc on the back end of that White Sox bullpen.
KC plays at Cleveland tonight. Down the line, and nice catch.
Yeah, the big thing, I guess I can look that up. If it's Corey Kluber, better get out the 4 lead Clovers. A couple of 14 strikeout games in his last 2 starts.
Gardner hanging tough here with this 2-strike count. Ryan Mattis will miss up high with that one.
Actually, Trevor Bauer tonight for the Indians.
Bauer against Vargas. 1-2. Gardner really working it here. Orioles bullpen still working as well. Down the line, Johnson, and will not have a play. This is the biggest crowd of the series so far. 46,000. 46,056. The announced attendance for this day game. And tomorrow, of course, seats selling for astronomical prices for Jeter's last game here in New York.
Yeah, how about the Blue Jays, or over what they've done to the Mariners? They gave about 21 runs in their last 2 games. I looked the other day, they were about a little over 3 runs a game, and their ERA from 3.03 to 3.23 in 2 baseball games, and you're in the month of September.
They have had a precipitous decline. A team that is going to have the chance to still come out of this thing with a chance. Of course, Oakland, for all that's happened to them, they still have that second spot in the wild card, 3 games over Seattle, because Seattle just could not take advantage of Oakland's failures because of their own. Towering pop-up at the Orioles dugout, and no play into the dugout.
Yeah, the A's with their pitching. I mean, Sonny Gray struck out 12. And ended up losing, but so did the Mariners. It seems like Billy Beans, it was all about, okay, we'll give up Cespedes. We got other guys that could come back. Josh Reddick was coming off to disable us, but he hasn't hit as well as Cespedes. And then it's about John Lester and build your team for the postseason. And it may end up that way.
Yep.
I mean, maybe all of a sudden they'll start playing well like they did the first 4 months, but the last 2 months have been a disappointment.
Never an advantage coming through that wild card position, having to play and travel. 1 ball, 2 strike count. And finally, 1 in play. Jones will go back, blow a bubble, and make the catch. Gardner retired.
Yeah, even Detroit with a 1-game lead over Kansas City, they may go down to the wire, having to win games over the weekend.
Jeter coming up. Brian Mattis will be coming out as Brian works an inning. He retires all 3 batters that he faces. And Brad Brock, who was ready in the bullpen, will come on to do the pitching for the Orioles, who lead it over the Yankees 9-3.
Brian Mattis pitched last night, an inning, walked, and a strikeout. What a year he's had. Acquired in the offseason from San Diego. Established himself as one of the mainstays of the Oriole bullpen. Can pitch multiple innings. And he will come on to face Jeter.
So Jeter will stand in, and then 43,000 people will leave the stadium.
Yeah, you get the feeling as the Orioles have come up with 9 unanswered runs. That's what they've been waiting for.
Yep. Jeter 0 for 3 in the ball game. Couple of hits, 11 at bats in the series. Brad Brock's delivery to him into the screen. 1 down here in the 8th inning. 9-14-0 the Orioles, 3-6-0 the Yankees. Yankees actually had a 3-0 lead going to the 4th inning when the Orioles put together a 6-run, 7-hit 4th, and adding 3 more in the 8th inning. Getting most of that off Green. 6 runs, 7 hits, 3 2/3, the Yankees starter. Brad Brock 0-1. Jeter, a check swing ground ball. It's going to go to first base. Brock will cover, take the flip. Jeter is out 0 for 4. 2 down here in the 8th. Pierce moving around well over there as he plays first base. Two down, nobody on. There they go.
Well, and Chase Headley, he's waiting for the fans to pay their due. Certainly wasn't about that at bat. And of course, fans want him to acknowledge the fact that they have stayed for this, and
he doesn't want to acknowledge an 0 for 4.
No.
Headley will stand in. Single, home run is struck out. And he will foul that back into the screen. Two down, nobody on here in the 8th. Oh, 1 count on Headley. And the pitch down low. Brad Brock, 1-1. Shift on against him, and nasty as he could not hold up on that pitch. 1-2.
Yeah, I saw him in spring training. We're down doing games and you're watching Brad Brock, but the changeup has become so much more effective. And because he throws so hard, you got to start the bat, and then you can't hold up even though it's out of the zone.
And the 1-2 pitch to him. Look out. Wow. Yeah. A shot up the middle. The old through the box base hit right there, and Brock somehow able to move just enough.
Well, he falls off to the left, and that's a good thing. What's this line drive? About 54 feet. Wow. And a little, he really limboed his way out of there. Olay. And that ball into center field. Easily could have gotten hit.
3-hit ball game for Chase Headley. Marlins in the bullpen. Teixeira's doubles and has struck out twice. That one almost gets him. 2 down, runner on at first. 7 hits now for the Yankees in the ball game. Brock will regroup. Teixeira seeing that shift against him with Scope way out in right field.
Yeah, he was a little out of sorts last night. Stuff was good for Brad, but a little bit wild.
Lifts it down the line near the pole, and goodbye, home run. It hits the fair pole. And Teixeira delivers a 2 RBI homer here in the 8th inning to make it a 9-5 ball game, his 22nd of the year.
Well, it really doesn't matter what the score is. You're down 9-3, now make it 9-5. To me, this is kind of a lesson to be learned about how you got to command your stuff. There's the target, there's the ball, and it's liftoff. I just don't think you can pitch to Teixeira in the middle of the plate, and that's where that pitch was. We saw earlier in the game, Norris got one there. What did he do? Hit a double down in the quarter. This time right off the foul pole for a 2-run home run.
9-5 ball game. Yankees, their second home run. Headley had the other. Third home run. Drew had one as well. So Brock with 2 down will now try and get Cervelli to end the inning. And the pitch will be taken down low for a ball.
Now the Orioles know what's going on. The Yankees get 27 outs. And with all the misfortune they've had, injuries and whatever, they're still 5 games over 500. It's not like they've ever tossed in the towel. You need to get 27 outs and the game can end.
1-0 delivery on the way. Brock will miss. Count goes 2-0. Cervelli, his base hit came in the 4th inning. Trying to keep it alive for Drew this inning. Coming about with 2 down on the Headley single and the Teixeira home run. 2-0 delivery by Brock, and that will miss. And Brian Brock getting closer to being out of the ball game as the count goes to 3-0. Got Drew, the left-hander, in the on-deck circle. 3-0 pitch, and Brock walks him on 4 straight.
Well, if he doesn't quiet his head down, he won't throw quality strikes. And he's not going to get a chance here. The head goes left, he goes left, and then all of a sudden you just lose your direction to the plate. So forget the radar gun. Balls in the middle of the plate don't work at this level.
Lefty against lefty. McFarland will come on to face Drew.
Today and a half. And sinker baller, slider, changeup pitcher. A 36th game with one start. More hits than innings pitched. And of course can get out of those innings because of the ground balls. Righties hitting him better than lefties. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. Average over 300.
We will get a pinch hitter for Drew. Varela, the rookie who broke in here in this series with that big 2-hit first major league game, is going to come on. Drew was 0 for 8 against McFarland and a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, so Varela, triple single. Cervelli saying thank you very much for the base on balls. Yankees still down by 4. Well, he had some good at bats even against Darren O'Day. Darren said not too many young hitters can lay off the slider. He would eventually make it out. But after having a year over 300, a lot of triples, stolen bases, looks like he's got a pretty good idea at the plate.
Varela with a runner at first base and 2 outs, and the pitch taken for his strike as Brock worked a third of an inning, 2 hits and a walk. Darren O'Day's been up twice, so he'll get in this game at some point. Varela with the 0-1 count. Cervelli, the base runner at first. Pierce holding the bag on him. Ball put up in the air, down the line, and that will be in the seats. Wind blowing over in that direction, and it's only continued to increase in velocity as we've gone along this afternoon. Coming in from left field. 0-2 count. 9-5 ball game, but it has not come easy for the Orioles. 2 runs in. The Orioles, those 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning, loom larger than ever here. The Yankees still going in the bottom half. Varela waiting on it. 0-2 delivery, and he's going to get a base hit. Nobody was there. It'll die in the outfield grass. Markakis will pick it up. Down to second base goes Cervelli, so he comes on and gets his first major league pinch hit.
Yeah, nice approach. 2 strikes. Can you cut your swing down? Can you put the ball in play? Little breaking ball away. He just went that way. That's what he did the other night for the second hit. Except that was the line drive.
That'll be it for McFarland. He will work no part of an inning, gives up a hit. Fans booing all these pitching changes, but Doug Showalter forewarned about that he was going to get everybody in. He's concerned the bullpen's not had enough work of late. So he's going to do this here, and he's going to do it in Toronto as well.
Another marvelous year. A lot of fastballs, sweeping, breaking balls. Change-up really non-existent this time of the year. Low ERA. It's gone up a little bit. Runs in 3 of his last 4 games. Only he's given up 13 runs all year long. 6 home runs on the season. And 2 of those in the last 4 games. So unusual. Said he feels fine. Wondering if all the appearances and then a great job as far as inherited runners can pitch multiple innings.
5th pitcher out of the bullpen for the Orioles in the ball game. Hunter, a 1/3 of an inning, a hit. Brian Madison, inning, 0s across. Brock, 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits and a walk. Gave up the hit to Headley and the home run to Sheriff, so 2 runs charged against him so far. Cervelli is also the responsibility of Brock, who is out there at second base. Then McFarland, no part of an inning, a hit. So Peralta, the pinch hitter, is his responsibility. And now it'll be Chris Young. Young coming up. He's had a double, hit a hard line drive double play in the 4th, and has struck out. 2 on, 2 down.
Yeah, I just noticed. I don't know why I didn't notice this, but isn't he wearing Robinson Cano's number? He needs some of that magic and put that uniform on. He's hit 2 balls really hard, as you mentioned, today.
Pitch will be taken for a strike. Now the Tigers have won their ball game over the White Sox 6-1 today, so now it's a 1.5 game lead. Kansas City will play Cleveland tonight in their battle for the division championship. They will not face one another to end the season. Detroit's got games against Minnesota at home, and Kansas City, they've got 4 against the White Sox in Chicago. 0-2 count, 2 down. Young trying to keep this rally going. Been 4 Yankee hitters up since there were 2 down. Slider's going to be outside. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Young. Been a long inning in for the Oriole bullpen. The Yankees have made it so.
Well, they still have action in their pen, just in case. They're looking for another 4 outs and maintain your lead.
Perez is the on deck batter who hasn't been up in this ball game. And a check swing. Did not go around. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Young.
Yeah, Darren had the run last night was a the Jeter infield hit, and he said, I should have put him away, and he didn't. And Andrew, so Warren on the right, actually it's the left. Justin Claiborne on the right, and then McCann would hit the home run off of Andrew Miller.
2 ball, 2 strike count. Delivery on the way and foul back. So Young, as the other Yankee hitters have done here in this inning, extending the at bats. He's not had a hit off O'Day. He's 0 for 4 off the Oriole right-hander.
And, a lot of times he'll throw that front hip breaking ball where and hitters will give up. But if you go back, there's Andrew Miller. But Young has already hit 2 balls hard on breaking balls.
Cervelli off second base. Throw off first. Delivery on the way. Young will take it, and that's going to be a ball.
How do you not call that pitch? That's been a strike all day long. And I don't know. I mean, Young just gets fooled. I'm almost speechless. Over the plate. Wasn't high. Young gets a break, and so do the Yankees.
So 3-2, 2 down. Runners will be going from first and second. Yankees have made it back to within that grand slam range. There they go. 3-2 down to third and foul. Back Cervelli.
And because of the 3-2 count, your point, it's well taken. I mean, they're having a. What do we want to do? He can't. Have to make sure he swings the bat. Maybe I'll walk him, and all of a sudden, when then that grand slam situation does come up. Ball probably carrying the right field, but nowhere else because of the wind. This gives you an idea. You score 9 unanswered runs, and now the Yankees are trying to make a run.
One team can do it, so can the other, and that's why you got to get those 27 outs. 3-2 again. The runners will be going. Young against O'Day. Full count delivery on the way. That'll go to short. Going to go to first. And that will do it. Flaherty makes the play. Yankees will come up with a couple of runs, doing it on 3 hits. They'll leave 2 on. 9-5 Orioles. On Masson is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Without a heart, it's just a machine. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer here at Yankee Stadium. 9-5 as the Orioles get out of that 8th inning. Couple of runs, 3 hits for the Yankees. Perella's going to stay in the ball game after pinch hitting. He'll play at second base. Was the all-star second baseman in the International League. Preston Claiborne.
And then there was only one. Seen them all except Adam Warren plus Preston Claiborne comes on, up and down last year. This year shoulder problems, so a little bit at their AAA affiliate down in Scranton. The Rail Riders.
Good name.
Yeah, well, if you have a stepson with autism and loves railroads, that's Spencer's favorite team, the Rail Riders.
Like that. Gonna have to look up their logo. Here is Jonathan Scope, and he will take the pitch outside. Scope getting his first at bat. Paredes had been in the spot, went 1 for 4. 9-14-0 the Orioles, 5-9-0 for the Yankees. Phelps charged with a run on 2 hits and an inning worked. And that pitch is going to be there for a strike. Jonathan trying to get things picked up. We were talking about him earlier. Average has dropped down to that 209 mark, hitting 145 in the month of September. And a swing and a miss pitch up and away to him, 1-2. Scope, Johnson, and Flaherty are due up for the Orioles. 1-2 pitch to him, and that's there. Claiborne, a strikeout to start his work of the day.
Yeah, perfect fastball to a guy that's really scuffling. So you swing by through one fastball, and then you take the one right on the corner. Couldn't throw it any better.
Kelly Johnson will stand in. Johnson, a solid day at the plate. Single and a walk, getting on. Both times scored. 1 for 3. He's had 4 hits in 8 at bats in this series. Ball will bounce away. And a ball 1 count on Johnson.
Hey, Claiborne out of Tulane, so worked his way through the minor leagues. Another high 17th round draft choice. Shane Green, who started, was 15th. Of course, he had Tommy John surgery. So mostly relief. Got to start in rehab last year when he hurt his shoulder, but other than that, all out of the bullpen. So they have groomed him as a reliever.
Claiborne 1-1. And that's going to be outside. They employ the shift here against Kelly Johnson. Two-one pitch to him. Johnson will foul that one off. Got a piece of Cervelli on the way by, and evened up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Only other game today, a day game, was Minnesota for 1. They've got a rain delay in Minnesota, and the Angels are underway against Oakland. They've got a 3-0 lead. They're in the 3rd inning. Grounder, and no play. Probably an infield hit on that. He had a long way to go with a shift on there. We see yet another play against the shift, and it just couldn't be handled. He'll get a base hit.
Well, 71% of balls in the major league, and that ball has some spin. And for Ryan, the only way he felt he could play it, I mean, he's not as good a defender. A lot of people think he's one of the better fielding shortstops. Can't imagine they'd give him an error on that ball.
Nope. So a couple of hits in the ball game now for the former Yankee.
And you're 2 away from your 17 hit total last day.
Flaherty, a big part of this one. He's had 3 hits, 2 singles, a double, 2 runs scored, goes to center. Runner halfway. Gardner's got it. 2 down, top of the 9th inning. That'll bring Caleb Joseph up. Joseph, a couple of strikeouts, fly ball out, and sacrificed, helping to set up some of the runs that scored in that 3-run 8th inning the Orioles had.
Yeah, they turn out, as you mentioned, key runs. And another thing is that his team has given up less than the other one.
That'll go off the pitcher's glove. Claiborne to second base. Corella will make the play. Joseph retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Yankees, unless they come back, will be mathematically eliminated from the postseason. Coming along here as the Orioles vie for those final 3 outs, as Darren O'Day, who came on in relief, got 2 outs in the 8th inning, will stay on here in the bottom half of the 9th. The pitcher of record, Norris, could win his 15th. The Orioles, Shane Green, Yankee starter, could lose his 4th and be 5-4. A lot of action going on out of the bullpens, but in the end, right back to the starters as pitchers of record in the ballgame.
So you want your intensity to kind of ratchet up as you get towards the postseason after an early clinch, and as Ichiro Suzuki looks like he's going to come in and pitch hit. But the great thing about what you did against Shane Green is that in 12 2/3 innings he had struck out 18 and given up 2 runs. That was not the case today. Had some real good at bats. Did he struggle? Yes, but they made him struggle.
So Darren O'Day tries to wrap it up. Here is Ichiro, then Gardner and Jeter are due up. Pitch on the way, and it will miss outside for a ball. 3 runs charged to Norris, 2 runs charged to Brock. Zach Britton will toss. It was just in case get readies in the bullpen. 1-0 delivery by O'Day. That 2 is going to be outside, and the count goes to 2-0. Ichiro trying to get on. Yankees obviously in need of base runners here with only 3 outs to work with.
Well, he ought to be taken. I don't know if he will be.
2-0 delivery on the way. He was not.
Game has passed me by.
Especially for a veteran contact hitter.
Well, we saw Jose Bautista down by 3 runs, swung at a 3-1 ball on the ground the other night, and he's a good player. It's like sometimes you just forget.
Lifted in the air in the infield third base. Kelly Johnson in foul territory and 1 out.
Yeah, if you reason with players and you would say, don't you need to get on? You're down by 3. There was a man on already, and you got Encarnacion, who had hit 2 home runs in previous games. You go, of course. And then the retort would be, well, then why did you swing? Right there, most hitters say the more pitches you see, the better hitter you are. So why wouldn't you take? Just like you're tracking pitches. Take it. Make him throw a strike. Don't swing at it.
Another day, another time, I guess.
Exactly.
Yep. Here is Gardner. Gardner's had an 0 for Brendan Ryan, rather. And the pitch is going to be taken away. So the Orioles now just need a couple of outs. Ball game in the W column for their 95th win of the season. And that one's going to be taken for a strike. One down here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Orioles had a trailed 3-0 till that 6-run 4th inning, and they haven't looked back. In the air to left field. Hauled in by Lowe. 2 outs.
Yeah, I got the feeling today in talking to Darren O'Day that he does not like to give up runs ever. So when he gives up 3 in 4 games, which is he's only given up 13 earned runs all year. If you don't have an ERA around 2 or lower like he's had the last 4 out of 5 years, the 1 year he didn't because he was hurt. And tremendous pride. That's why he's as good as he is.
More and more like that rain that's in the forecast for tomorrow may start any minute. It's darkened up.
Well, it's getting cooler. As you mentioned, it's been gusty, and the wind's getting a little bit heavier as the afternoon progressed.
Gardner with Jeter waiting on deck. There are 2 down in the 9th inning. 0 for 4 at the plate. 1 for 11 in the series. He will take the strike from O'Day. 0-1 pitch to him. Gardner again will take it. Again, that's a strike. And again, he'll turn to Jeff Kellogg, the home plate umpire. Gardner an 0 for 6 off O'Day. Oh-2 pitch will be lifted in the air, foul. So the count will say at 2 strikes on Gardner. He's really struggled against the Orioles, hitting less than 180 on the year. Never really done well against the Orioles. .220 career hitter against those pitchers. Showalter's Ball Club after their 95th. Eliminate one more team, the Yankees, from postseason hopes.
95 wins has a nice ring to it, doesn't it?
That's
10 more. If they win today, it'll be 10 more than last year.
And a ground ball towards first, foul. Fans, of course, all they're cheering for here is Jeter's at bat. They just want Gardner to get on so they can see Jeter again.
And even Derek, 20 years, he can probably predict whether it's going to be raining tomorrow or not. Maybe not 100%, but close to it. I don't mean the rain, just his prediction.
Yes. We'll wait it out, I have a feeling, if it does. 2 away here in the bottom of the 9th. 0-2. Delivery to Gardner. Pitch is there. This ball game's over. So Dave finished it off with a strikeout of Gardner. And the Orioles come away with a 9-5 win. And the Yankees are mathematically eliminated for any shot at postseason play. The Orioles with an impressive performance here on the heels of the 17 hits that they picked up last night. They come away with the 15 in this ball game. Norris wins it, and Bud is now 15-8 on the year. Shane Green will take the loss. He is 5-4. Norris remains perfect against the Yankees for his career 4-0, and Green is now 2-1 against the O's.
Yeah, Bud Norris, house of fire, home run, 5 strikeouts, home run, and then they get him 6 runs. 3-0. 9 straight runs by the Orioles, and then the Yankees come back with a couple of late inning runs to make it 9-5.
So that will go in the comeback win column for the Orioles. And we'll set the stage for the final game against the Yankees tomorrow night. Orioles are now 13-5 against New York. Big ball game again with everybody contributing. Markakis, a couple of RBIs. Lowe had 2 RBIs in the game. Adam Jones, 2 RBIs. Ryan Flaherty had a big ball game, couple of RBIs and a 3-hit day for Ryan. So lots of contributions up and down the lineup. Steve Pearce gets back into action, getting 1 at bat in the game, coming on as a defensive replacement. Nelson Cruz joining us here in the Orioles 9-5 win. Nelson coming away with another big day at the plate, 4 hits. Nelson, it looks like you're as much on at the plate right now as you've been all season. Do you feel that way?
I mean, it's one of those days. I try to just put the ball whatever the defenders are not there, and it's working.
Now, you told me early in the year. I mean, you had one of those marvelous Mays. You had 13 home runs. You told me that, and then with 339, you said the season is peaks and valleys. Obviously, you're up there on the mountains now because you're hitting 360 in September. You got 5 home runs. But you're using the whole field. It's almost like you look out there, you see they put the shift on, and then they pitch you away, and you probably have had 6, 7, 8 hits to right field over the last maybe 5, 6, 7 games.
I mean, yeah, I try to take advantage of those situations, and they pitch the way they're supposed to pitch, and the defense are playing the sheep try to go the other way, and I mean the other way, vice versa. But I just try to go there and be aggressive, try to find the pitch that I can drive and hit it.
Are you willing to make that adjustment, Nelson, maybe giving up some of your power in order to get hits if they continue in the shift?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, you don't gonna hit homers every at bat. So if you can, get on base, you know, and put the situations in for the guys behind you to drive it, you know. Why not do it?
You know, you signed a little bit right before March 1st. And did you ever envision 40 home runs, most home runs ever, most RBIs?
Not numbers, you know. You're expecting big years, you know. The main concern for me is to stay healthy, you know, and play the many games that I can, you know, and take the many at bats, you know. And at the end, the number's gonna be there.
Nelson, we appreciate it. Congratulations, another big day at the plate.
Thank you, guys.
And Nelson Cruz, the Orioles' most valuable Oriole of the season. Orioles wrap up their season series against the Yankees with Kevin Gausman taking the mound against Hiroki Kuroda tomorrow night. Our coverage on Masson will begin at 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Dodge.